Greetings, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, Defender of the Golden Throne and Defender of Humanity. Welcome in, and oh my gosh, we already have a hype train. What the heck? Red Tail Wolf, thank you so much for the bits, and Bard for your 10 months of support, and Shadow for the bits as well. I'm proud to all the writers who participated. I know it's not easy. Best of luck. We have the best boss. Well, thank you. I'm very proud of everyone who participated as well. It's definitely not an easy task, trying to figure out what to write and putting yourself out there. I do hope I make it easier by having it anonymous until we know who the winners are. But yeah. Good evening, good evening. All right. We'll chat. We're going to chat for a little bit. We'll chat before we get into the story times. We've got 21. We've got 21 stories. Oh, I should have pulled up the form so I know who the winner is at the end. Put that over here. One second. I'm going to pull up the form so then I know who wins at the end. Right, there we go. There it is. Okay. Cool. There. My paperwork, yeah, well, I had to be a bit organized for this one, so yes, I do have a plasma pistol. If you look at like the intro and like stream starting, stream ending slides, yeah, that I have a plasma pistol there. But I recommend that you be creative. It doesn't always have to be exactly what I have, so I recommend you you come up with stuff that you find interesting and not just something that I already have. Oriscon, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you very much, dude. How is everybody doing? How are we all doing today? Are we having a good day? It's Sunday for me. Maybe Monday for some other people. But how is everyone doing? We having a good time? I'm doing well. How are you? I am doing all right. I'm tired, but you know, that's what I'm always tired on a Sunday afternoon. That's just how it is for me. It's kind of hard to avoid it. I eat lunch and then I take a nap, and I took a very good nap. I had a headache before said nap, and I took a little something for the headache and then took a nap, and it went away. It was beautiful and glorious. It was... You're tired of us already? No, I'm just tired in general. I'm always tired. That's what I do right before stream. Well, not always. I give myself 30 to 45 minutes to set everything up. So like right before that is the nap. Oh. Anyways, quite good considering it's already after 12 p.m. on a Monday. See, yeah. Oh, thank you, Mouse. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you like my armor. I am quite fond of it. I like it a lot. Doing good at Comic-Con right now. Very cool. Wait, are you watching me while you're at Comic-Con? Wait a second. Thank you, DinoFin, for the super chat. But wait, are you watching me while you're at Comic-Con? You should go experience the Comic-Con. You can always come back to the VOD later. You can always come back to the VOD later. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. That's dedication. But you should go hang out with your friendos. I exist in the VODs. What a great day. I started up the grill, now it's raining. Now I have to try and keep the grill alive. Oof. What are you having? What are you having, Jared? Can I have some of it? You're firing up the grill, that's good news. Maybe. I'm also a con enjoyer. Killing time waiting for the next panel is normal. Okay. Okay, well, okay, I accept that. That's fair. That's fair. I just don't want people to watch me when they could go and experience things in person. So. And Red Tail Wolf, thank you for gifting a sub to Clam Boyd. Thank you very much. I have a code right here with me as well. Take a nice little sippy sip here. Holy cow, you're right. Red Tail Wolf, you've almost gifted 700 subs to this channel. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Alright, yeah, there's no Nurgles allowed. There's no Nurgles allowed. This is an Imperium zone. Heresy is not allowed. I'm making strip steak, sausages, and potato pockets. Oh my gosh. Oh. Now I want to change my dinner plans. I'm supposed to have leftovers, but that sounds really good. Now I want to go to the store and change what I'm doing today. No Nurgirls allowed. Well. Well, there you go. There you go. Yep, no girls. I'm not a girl. I'm secretly not a girl. That's just me. Yeah, so Froggy is double banned. You're correct. Well, she's a Whammons. That's not the same. If I was gonna put it in her words, she's a Whammons. So she's not a Nurgirl. I also have some surprises that I got from the con. I'll show them on Discord later, but I did post some pictures in there from yesterday. Ooh, I hope you had fun. I have, like, been to, like, only, like, a couple cons? Wait. Maybe, like, one. I need to go to one. I just need to go to one. That's what I need to do. Oh, man. I should go. I definitely want to go as, like, a guest at some point. Like, as Aurelia, not as, myself. Aren't all VTubers secretly not girls? I mean, maybe. 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 Although it is very funny when someone hops in and they, like, they non-ironically say that I'm not a girl. And I'm like, what? Wait. What are you talking about? What? I get so confused. I'm like, you know you're a man. I'm like, am I? Wow, did I grow some things that I did not have before? This is incredible. We should study that for science, if that's the case. How many inches you got? I mean, you're asking how long my hair is? That's kind of personal information. It's longer than 6 inches. Longer than 6 inches. How about that? The secret's out. I know. I know. It's funny. I will, one time I was trolling my mods. And we were talking about something, and I did this on purpose because I thought it was going to be funny. I said in response to a comment one of them said, I don't even know what it was about, and I said, yes, I'm a man of taste. And the group chat went wild. It was so funny. It was so funny. They were like, Aurelia, and I'm like, what? Yo, Froggy, welcome in, my frog queen. Hello. I think most of your community already knows me, but if you don't, my name is Aurelia Tempris. I am a Warhammer VTuber, and today we are reading some stories submitted by my community as a little competition. So the winner, I am going to pay to have an art piece commissioned, and the art piece is going to be like it's going to be like a poster, like a propaganda poster. So it's going to be great. What were you doing, Froggy? I remember seeing you were live, but I forgot what the channel said. like what you were doing. What were you doing, my friend? My amphibious friend. Oh, and Red Tail Wolf, thank you for gifting a sub to Tarot as well. I appreciate that. What? What? Well, Froggy, what were you doing? Please tell me. I finished that Vampire Lord. Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, when you were painting the vampire yesterday, I was like, oh, I saw your title. I was like, oh, I have to pop in for a little bit. She's painting a vampire, and we know how much I love vampires. Oh, Froggy, I want to tell you. I'm gonna message you a thing. It'll be for later, but it's a model thing I want to do for the future that I think will be really funny. So I'm just gonna message you, remind me about the thing. There, I'm gonna put that down. But welcome in, guys. If you gotta go eat, if you gotta sleep, if you gotta do whatever, that is a-okay. We're just gonna chill and read. We're gonna have very, very nice vibes. Ooh, your mini looks great. And that's a nice looking leg. That's a nice looking leg, ma'am. It feels like it's like akin to like, you know, Froggy sticking her leg out from like behind the corner and you get the oh man, I haven't whistled in a hot minute. That. The leg looks so chrome, I didn't mean to. Oh, it's kind of hard to tell in this picture. It just looks like shading. I can kind of see what you're saying. But, anyways. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Oh. Aurelia confirms she likes legs. Yeah. Yeah. I do like legs. And biceps. And chests. And butts. I forgot the rar on the end? No, I don't think I did. Look, I am an appreciator of bodies. That sounds weird. That sounds weird. But look, I'm glad that you agree. I'm glad that you agree, that you find that as like a reasonable statement. At this rate, she'll start saying she likes humans. Well, what's wrong with that? I'm an abhuman. Like, I'm not all that different. I'm not all that different. Look, man. It's just the ears. It's just the ears. Yeah, Sad Bear, you're okay. You're good. You're good, man. Did you know Sanguinius canonically has a Silicon accent? I'm sorry, Silicon, haha. Sicilian accent. Where is that? I need to... give me a quote. King Eternal of Butter. I need a quote there. Give me a book and a quote. I said silicon, huh? Sicilian. Yeah, no, I know where Sicily is. I just, when I read it, I just misread it. That's all I did. He's a silicon man. He's very floppy. He's very floppy, not very firm. He's definitely not a man of iron. I need quotes. I need quotes. An American who knows geography. Oh, yeah. I know a little bit. I was gonna take a class. Circumstances, it was in high school. I was gonna take a class that was all about, like, geography. And in, like, the first week of the class, our teacher was like, hey, you're gonna have a test, and I'm gonna basically give you a world map, and, like, zoomed in on different regions, and, like, you're gonna have to write down every single country. It was incredibly intimidating. I ended up switching out of that class for different reasons, not because I wasn't capable of doing it, but I was a little stressed about that test. For the few days I was in that class, I was like, oh, how am I gonna do that? But I ended up taking a different class because of how things worked out, so yeah. No, it was like, it was insane. It was like, it was geography, but also had like history tied to it. So I don't know exactly what that test was gonna, like what that whole class was gonna cover. It seemed interesting. It just didn't work out. GeoGuessr, oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't be any good at GeoGuessr. Yeah, I know a little bit of geography. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, because I'm not. So. Yeah, it might have been something with geopolitics. I'd really have to look it up, because, like I said, I was only in that class for, like, less than a week before I, like, switched out. My brother, he's a little boppity boopity. Yeah, that definitely sounds like that definitely sounds like a legitimate quote. If you actually do have a serious quote, I'm very curious, because, you know, I like saying Gwyneth's voice, and Jonathan Keeple, he does a great job, but can we take it up to the next level? So if you do have something, like actually have something, I'm really curious. My freshman geography class mostly involved coloring pages. It kind of is like that sometimes. No, this was like, this was gonna be a difficult class. Wait, what? What's the next level? No, Froggy. No, Froggy. I'm not talking about smut. I'm just saying, Jonathan Keeble does a great job at the voice, but if you take it to the next level where he has, like, the proper accent, then yes. That is the next level. Why did you just jump to smut? Is it all about smut? Is it all about smut, Froggy? I zoned out. That's what caught her attention. She was like, oh. Oh my gosh. This went, like, so sideways. This went so sideways. I have seen her keyboard. It's very funny. I wouldn't own it personally, but I think it's funny. All paths lead to smut. Are you talking about the internet? I think that's specifically the internet. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. Well, you know, Americans, like... I think Americans have, like, a huge fondness for people with accents. So, like, Froggy. Froggy has a lovely accent. I can guarantee if I had, my family members, if they heard Froggy's voice, they'd be like, oh, wow, you've just got such a lovely accent. Americans, we love accents, kind of from wherever. It's like the mysterious foreigner, and you've got that lovely... It's just nice. Depending on where you're from, I think there are preferences. Like, I think Americans in general, we're, like... British accents. Yeah, Americans have American accents, and there's like different kinds within America, because there's a lot. America's huge. I think we've even talked about this before. I've considered I have an American accent, of course, America. But I don't feel like I have a distinct accent. Like, I'm not like Southern, and I don't say like sweet tea, and I don't say things like that, or I'm not from Boston or New Jersey, where it's very like thick and heavy. I just feel like I have a very standard American accent. Yeah. Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah, I don't have that. I know, it like what is it? It's like, it's not... Did you say America's thick? I mean, you're not wrong. There are some problems. There are some problems with health policies, but any case. I get super Southern when I'm around family. Yeah, see, I don't have anything that's like that. It's very, like, I don't know, I don't think, unless there's like a accent expert out there, I don't feel like there's anything that is particularly like unique about my accent. It's just there. It's just there. It's just my voice. So, I don't have anything that's like too crazy. I don't even know what, like, you say Western, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm not a cowboy, but I'm not like Valley Cali girl. Like that one's very different. A central Midwestern accent? Really? I'm always so curious. See, and like Southern accents are like different. Don't call me a Valley girl. I refuse. Do not call me a Valley girl. I'm not a Valley girl. I would. Don't call me that. No, I'm not gonna say that, Froggy. I'm not a Valley girl. No, I can make the joke. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not a Valley girl. I find that a little insulting. It's okay, I'm Canadian, but I don't always say the at the end of my sentences. I was like, it's or is it Next time we battle, I'll do it. Okay, I'm interested to hear all of your impressions. Please, no! 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 I don't want to do it. Thank you for the bits. Oh, man. Yeah, oh, quick, yeah, I guess, so who here has an accent, and is it like a different, like, kind of, so Froggy has a British accent, but does it get even, like, more narrowed down than this? Yeah, she's a weird one, that's what I thought. Froggy wants it. Yeah, so cool. You don't have an accent. You sure about that? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me look. Where is the line? I'm gonna find it. Wait, where is it? Oh, did I go too far? Did I go too far? Oh, man. Not Starbees. Not Starbees. I'm not a voice actress. So the USA has 30 major accents, which are broken up into 7 main groups. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Let me look at the map. Let's see. It's in the Discord server, which you should join if you haven't yet. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'll explain to you guys. So there's Northern New England, which is in the northeastern part of the states. It trickles a little bit into New York and like most of Massachusetts, and then it kind of stops there. Then the northern accent is a really weird stretch. So you get, you don't get Manhattan Island, but you get like New York, part of Pennsylvania, Iowa, a bit of South Dakota. It stretches in like a weird spot. It cuts in a lot of states in half. Above that is North Central, which I guess you're right, the Dakotas do have a little bit of a different accent. In the middle, it's Midland. New York City has its own special one, and then Southern, which basically starts at partway through Missouri, Kentucky, West Virginia, and then all the way south. And then Western is basically, the best way to put it is if you're looking at the Rockies, it like starts at the Rockies and goes west. And that's the Western. Huh. That's interesting. And then there's some for England, but you know, they're not as cool as us, so we're not gonna, not England, the UK, my apologies, but they're not as cool as us, so we're not gonna talk about it. Thank you, Shadow, for sharing that. That's very interesting. Yeah, they're definitely not as cool as us. We are very cool, much cooler. I'm sorry, we won our independence. You can't see, but I tossed my hair. Having a good Sunday? Yes. I think we're gonna get ready to start reading here in a little bit. We'll start reading. We've got 21 stories, 500 words each, thereabouts. Aurelia has been banned from importing GW products for this slander. That's okay. I'll get them secondhand. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I also have, a big pile of shame. So... it's probably for the best. Okay, should I say the line before we... Should I do the roar? Do the... No. I do need to paint my Space Wolf, ma'am. No, I haven't seen yours, but I have a huge pile of shame. I need to paint my Custodians. And I still need to paint the Mechanicus guy you got me. I've got, ma'am, I have lots to paint. You got Taco Bell. Good for you, congratulations. Do it by Sanguinius, do it. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, this is Valley Girl. This is not me. I am leaning into the stereotype. I'm not a Valley Girl. Let me just put this out here. I'm gonna do my own variation of the line. What would Sanguinius do? Oh my gosh, you wanna go to Starbucks later? There you go. You get it once. I hope you clip that. You're only getting it once. Maybe you'll get it another time. It depends on the motivation. The pain is audible. Yeah, I feel like I lost brain cells. Every time I feel like I lost brain cells. Yeah, no problem, Red Tail Wolf. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you for the bits. Yours is probably more like a Valley Girl. I just have a disdain for the Valley Girl voice. I can't. It like hurts my brain. It hurts my brain. Yeah, see, it did hurt, didn't it? Yeah, see, that's why I'm not gonna do it again. I did psychic damage to all of you. Yeah. And see, yeah. See, no, Shadow, you were blessed. Like, it was so bad. Like, your internet was like, you can't hear this. I don't know if I could stay here after that. Sir, I cannot blame you. Phoenix, nah, don't even worry about it. Don't refer to that as the California voice. Yeah, well, that's what you get. You guys wanted it so much. I didn't tell you it was any good. Oh yeah, it's bad. I don't practice those voices. I don't practice those voices. Let me take my shoes off. There we go. Shoes off. Dogs exposed to the air. Glacial Geek, what hole are you gonna jump into? What hole are you gonna jump into? Is it gonna be an actual hole this time, not in repo? What did Froggy do? Is Froggy doing a sniffer? And Gochi, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Okay. Should we do that? Should we do that thing? Should we read stories now? We can do that thing. One moment. Let's slide us over here. Okay. Excuse me. Yes, these are the story thingies. Yeah, I'm gonna read them. One moment, we're going to switch to screens. Thank you for the bit, Shadow. I love to traumatize people with my terrible, terrible, terrible accent. I ain't gonna lie, y'all better get some rest before this Yankee go and ruin them brain cells. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I ruin my own brain cells too. Yeah. So, for those of you that weren't part of this, in our Discord server, basically, my chat is called Battle Brothers, but specifically they are part of the Tempris Auxilia, which is a specialized guard unit. Doesn't really sound right. More like a specialized guard army that part of my community came up with. Like, they wrote a bunch of lore and everything, so I thought they did this all of their own accord, I should add. And I thought, wow, this is so cool, I want to adopt this. So it has been adopted, not stolen, I asked. So since we implemented it, I wanted to have a bunch of short stories. Yeah, no, they weren't even paid for it. They did this all on their own. I'm a huge advocate for doing creative things just because you want to do them. They did it for fun, and I liked it so much. I was like, dude, can we like make dudes, the three of them, I was like, can we make this a thing? Can we make this like an actual thing? Can I steal this? You guys make it sound like so bad. Like, it just happened, and it was just like, it was really cool. So it's now kind of, it's part of like what the Discord server is like. So basically I said, hey guys, we're gonna do a short story competition. Write your story about the Auxilia. We have a whole a huge massive Discord document, document in the Discord that's for all the lore that they wrote. They did a great job. So basically the winner of this is going to, I will pay for a commission for a piece of artwork they're going to get done, but it's basically going to be like a propaganda poster. So it'll be for the Tempris Auxilia, and it'll be an official part of the lore. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I didn't bully you. I didn't bully you. I asked this like nicely. I said, would you guys like to do this? And then 21 of you said yes. So I appreciate every single one of you that were part of this. This was like really, really fun. I've done a couple of these before. And so I appreciate everyone who decided to go out on a limb and just like submit a story. So let me take a quick sip. So we got 21 stories. Word count was under 500. All right. So, forgive me to try to keep things, I know who submitted the stories. I don't know who they are off the top of my head. Like, everything is anonymous. So I'm just gonna read it. How is the background music? Do I need to turn it down a little bit? Because I don't want it to be too loud. Because I think if I put it a little lower, it might be nice. So we're just going for nice, chill vibes. So, it's good? Alright. It's good? Then we shall begin, and I'll say a couple words after each one, so we'll take a tiny break. For those of you who are watching this in the VOD, well, this is gonna be difficult. Not everyone gave me a title for their story, which is okay. If you do have a title for your story, please reach out to one of my mods and give them your name and the title of your story. Later, I will add it into timestamps so then you can find your story easier. So, yeah, sorry mods. I'm gonna need your help with that at the end. So let us go and let us start this. All right. Returning from a deployment should be a relief, not for the 4th Company. On our march back to the Citadel and through the main gates, chimeras carry the remains of our dead onto the central elevator, and still, we stand beside them. I activate the Ascender, slowly climbing through the levels of the Citadel. I normally encourage some banter and chatter from my company in this time. Throne knows this ride up is long and boring, but not this time. We remain silent until our ritualistic traditions are complete. We pass the Great Hall, still slowly ascending the maw. I turn to my command staff. Some have their heads bowed, others stare ahead into the claustrophobic bricks that line the walls of the elevator shaft. Standing so close to the edge makes the shaft feel so small. But when I cast my gaze upon the remainder of my company, I am reminded how massive these platforms are. While looking out over my company, the casualties taken do not seem so too consequential, and yet with so few gone, it feels like so much has been robbed from the 4th. Was this my fault? Could I have prevented this outcome? I do not know. Try as I might to freeze over my heart, it is warmed again when I see even the newest among our ranks pay the proper respects and take part in our tradition. As the candlelight draws near, I stop the Ascender. There are small shelves embedded into the walls of the shaft. Many remain empty. I look over my shoulder to my standard bearer, giving a slow, deep nod. He raises our banner as high over his head as he can, holding it for a short while before carefully returning it to his side. Our ritual begins. The rear ramps for the chimeras unfold, and the centuria for each squad enters to retrieve the helmet from their former squad members, placing it onto an empty shelf. Beside the helmet, a single red wax candle is placed and lit by one of the squad members. When all squads lay their dead to rest, the Evocati now do the same for their squad and any centuria that died under their command. Once the Evocati are done, my adjutant places his hand upon my shoulder, his grip firm but gentle. As the feeling fades, I know that it is my turn. I take a few steps back, then turn and tread carefully to the chimera of 5th Platoon. They suffered the most as our vanguard. Their rest is well earned. I place Keldrick's helmet on the shelf. My adjutant lights his candle, and we salute them all, one last time. Looking up from here, I can scarcely see the helmets of those from the 1st century cohort. They are covered in a cascading river of red wax. It looks like the maw itself is bleeding, as if the Citadel itself is just as wounded by our losses as we are. How was that story? I like that. I like that. I'm gonna make notes for what's what here. That was very nice. Hello, hello, welcome in. We are just reading some short stories. It's story time. These are submitted by my community. I'm just gonna make a note for those that don't have titles, so then I can remember what's what. It was a very, very chill one. That was very nice. I like that. And the way I tell the difference between the stories is the color at the top is different colors, so I know when a story is over. All right, to the next one. Violet on Violet Violence. Scouring the depths of a planet turned asunder by heresy, the courageous Tempris Jaeger Othios, we'll go with that, was valiantly tasked with investigating a downed heavy transport that heretical forces had mysteriously crashed from orbit. It was this loyal servant of the Blood Matriarch that selflessly volunteered for this mission. The whining Voxbox. Othios. Shut your boom hole. You've been praising and applauding yourself ever since you left the garrison. I'm surprised the traitors haven't found you yet. Noble Othios, although thankful for his loyal Vox operator's punctual diligence, did not take note of the message, as his quest was far too important for such meager announcements. As brave Sir Authios ventured deeper into the fallen ship, he heard vile cackling and mind-polluting debate coming from beneath the ventilation paneling he was standing on. Vigilant Authios peered ever so silently under the panel to what appeared to be two of the Emperor's angels themselves rummaging. Hang on, I need to fix something really fast. I didn't crop this properly. There we go. Rummaging through the tithe collection safes. Now you guys can see the whole thing. Sorry about that. But these angels were quite eclectic. They were draped in strange leathers and bore a purple hue across their armor, similar to his own, but brighter, and pompously painful to gaze upon. Clever Authios decided to listen studiously to the inner machinations of these enigmatic purple paupers. The fat purple pauper. Inactatus, we've spent 62 hours pilfering this giant metallic dunghole, and I haven't had one drop of wine yet. The nagging purple pauper. Vitalis, I told you that just because she was married to Sanguinius doesn't mean all her transports are filled like a vineyard vault. You just keep drinking everything that slid down your gullet. The fatter purple pauper? That tithe secretary explicitly told me otherwise. You just fed her poisoned cheese curds until she was basically drunk. She also said she was married to an orc in a pirate hat. But you don't believe that now, do you? Clearly, these were no sons of the Emperor. Mere masquerading miscreants. A macabre sight if humble Authios ever saw one. I listened ever more closely to hear the most banal lie. Every single spawn of Slaanesh has told me in great detail, mind you, that Sanguinius's blood tastes like ancient Terran red wine. I didn't crash that transport ship into this oversized blimp just to give up the search. We could have been lounging in a pleasure palace right now if you just stopped thirsting over this widow's husband. You knew what I meant. Such dastardly deviance surely must be punished for defaming the blood matriarch and the great martyr himself. So I, the wise Authios, decided to perform my sacred duty and armed my melt-a-bomb, discarding it ever so carefully into the ajar barrel beneath me. Look, that must be in the barrel disguised as promethium fuel. You idiot, that's not blood wine, that's... This was such stupidly ingenious publicity. Authios was granted his own personal lodging in the Crimson Citadel. That's goofy. That's so goofy. Thirsting for the husband. That was like my favorite line. Just stop thirsting for a woman's husband. I agree. I agree. Don't do that. Oh shoot, I was gonna mark these. 1 second. There we go. Operation Ashfall. The hive world of Warathis was a place of suffering. Towering spires loomed above, casting shadows over the lower districts, where workers labored in misery. The elite flourished above, while the oppressed toiled below. Tempris Auxilia was deployed in response to a cry for help from the planetary governor, who reported signs of chaos. Strange symbols representing the Chaos Star, entwined with a comet bearing the Eye of Tzeentch. The Fourth Strike Company, the Obsidian Fangs, was dispatched to eliminate the cult. The squad landed in the workers' district, industrial, suffocating. The people were distant, their spirits broken. A few children offered more help than the adults. Deeper in, strange occurrences began. People vanished. Rumors spread of a new hope. Tzeentch's mark became undeniable. Symbols etched into walls, whispered meetings, and the growing sense of being watched. The cult, the children of the fading star, had taken root. Led by a psyker who claimed communion with a Lord of Change, they sought to unravel reality. The ritual they prepared would have torn Verathis apart. The warp's touch twisted all. The squad, trained for Wildlands, was unprepared for the nightmare. Brimstone and blue horrors came first, then greater demons. The mission became survival. Tiberius Cray, Centurion of the Obsidian Fangs, was a hardened veteran, but the warp stripped away even his resolve. Long-buried fears resurfaced. Lysandra Voss and Soren Valis tried to hold him together, while Collis Hark and Zethos Marin, tempered by death worlds, fought with grim precision until they were both consumed by the demonic tide. They did not scream. Tiberius collapsed. Lysandra and Soren dragged him into a service bunker to regroup. Time ran out. Crawling through vents toward the cult leader's sanctum, they reached the ritual chamber. Tiberius stirred once more. With his last act, he detonated the charge at the ritual's core, killing himself and the cult leader. When the dust settled, only Lysandra and Soren remained. The daemons had vanished. In the private chambers, amongst the corpses of the twisted faithful, they found a baby with deep blue eyes, silent, watching. They exchanged no words. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. The report, never formally filed, claimed the operation was a success. The cult was destroyed, chaos purged. Years later, Lysandra's lifeless body was found in an abandoned supply station, her bolt pistol beside her and a report clenched in one hand. On the last page, scrawled in a trembling hand, "We won. That's what they said. That it was over. But the faces still come in the dark. The walls still whisper." Soren vanished, said he'd seen something in the baby's eyes. I tried to forget. I really did. But the screams are still in the vents. The smell of burning skin never left me. I see them, even now. If anyone reads this, tell them we did our duty. Tell them we won. Please. Oh, yeah, that's the end of that one. Oh. Okay, okay. I like that. Yeah, that one was nice. I was like, oh no, not this blue-eyed baby. This is I'm worried. I'm concerned. Dude, I like that one. That one was great. And just so you guys know, even though I did put these in the PowerPoint, I don't remember who did which one. If you want to be like, oh hey, this one's mine, feel free. If you want to say that in the chat, you don't have to keep that a secret. I just didn't put it on here unless people like felt comfortable. What happened to the baby? I'm guessing it was a demon of some sort. I think the demon killed Lysandra. I think that's what happened. The next one. The prolonged object of any plan is not to get what you want, but to discover what your opponent is capable of. The Tempris Legatus stands with his troops, the Tempris Auxilia, as both he and they watch the enemy. Those despicable heretics tried to go through the traps that his forces laid out in preparation. Of course, the enemy doesn't know that they are being watched, as the halo of the Martyr's Queen is hiding and waiting for the moment to strike. As the betrayers are busy with the traps, the Legatus thinks of his deceased mentor, who made him what he is today, to her teachings and wisdom. One of her teachings is planning and what the true object of any plan is made. The Legatus's plan, in this case, are the traps that were laid for the enemy, which worked, and he's simply waiting for the most opportune time. An ordinary commander would have struck already, but for this one, he is no ordinary commander. You would think that would be the time to strike, correct? Yes. Well, that is wrong, Napolis. Remember, as I said earlier, the prolonged object of any plan is not to get what you want, but to discover what your opponent is capable of, and once you know that, you can manipulate the board to engineer and manage a successful endgame. And Napolis's mentor is indeed right, as he watches the enemy finally show what they are all capable of, and once they have done that, pleasure burned in his eyes. He signals for the wings of the beloved to attack. You'll reap the price, fools, paid in oceans of your heretical blood, he declares, his voice a tempest of fury. Your treachery will haunt you until your dying days, and when judgment comes upon you, it will be too late to pray to your so-called gods. Oh, there you go. That was it. Nice. Nice and, like, to the point. Got good battle strategy in here. You don't want to strike too fast. You don't want to strike too fast. Nice. Let's see. There we go. Oh, nice, Starman. I liked yours. It was very nice. Planet of deployment. Relic World. Tempura. 4. Now I'm hungry. Sorry about that. Reason for deployment. Local branch of the Ecclesiarchy has requested assistance with the growing orc presence. Local forces are still recovering from Eldar sabotage. The Auxilia has deployed the 4th Strike Company to deal with this threat. Local time. 0408. Location. Forest of the Martyred Ancients. With the decision made to send in the 4th Strike Company, the 7th Recon Platoon's mission was to scout the forest for the orc infestations, with the rest of the combat group Alpha following close behind in Valkyries and Aquila Landers. The air was thick with the pre-dawn dew, dripping from each leaf like heavy drops of blood. The distant thunderclaps of artillery echoed through the silence of the forest. The thick ferns and deciduous trees dominated the landscape, which prevented the use of their Amarok motorbikes. The 5th Squad advanced through the foliage. Kaisos pattern Hellgun Mark 1s held at the ready, heel-towing with deceptive speed through the harsh terrain. They had started at the edge of the forest 7 hours prior and were finally starting to see traces of orc activity. With a wave of Centuria Christ's hand, the 4 Jaegers halted, taking cover in the surrounding trees. The Greenskins had created a clearing and put a primitive-looking forward operating base within. No less than 100 orcs could be seen at any given time. Silently, 5 of the 5th Squad talked through their squad vox. What do you think, sir? This is the first orc camp we've seen since getting into this Emperor-forsaken forest, Tarl asked. What I think is irrelevant. What I know is that we have found one of our targets. Samuel, vox back our coordinates to command, with a request for the nearest platoon to support us, Christ commanded. Right away, sir, Samuel snapped, and extended the longer antenna on his backpack, activating the vox transceiver. In the meantime, Chris began, but was cut off when Kwanjab raised his rifle towards the center of the complex. Movement. Potential war boss spotted, Kwan stated. The greenskin war boss had exited one of the huts, quickly followed by a soot-covered orc, its disgusting Xenos head uncovered with one long canine hanging over its bottom lips. Samuel, ETA on those reinforcements. 13 minutes, sir. The Ecclesiarchy is arguing that report that we have found the war boss, and will start the Decapitation Strike within 10 minutes. Even if the reinforcements have not arrived by then, we will at least be rid of the war boss. Yes, sir. In the meantime, 86 and Quan, I want you behind those 2 trees and ready to shoot my targets. Taro, cover Samuel until he's finished on the Vox, and I want you both behind that tree. Move it. Double time. Yes, sir. Invicta. The 4 answered and moved. Even if they died, they knew one thing for certain. That they would kill this Wa in the cradle for the Burning Saint. Invicta. Christ answered back. Nice. Now I'm like, man, I felt bad putting a 500 word limit because I like reading these. I'm like, I want to know what happened. Did they kill him? Did they get him? Did they get the guy? And yes, I did notice, fourth is very popular. There we go. I'm like, man, I want to know more stuff now. Our company gathered in solemn silence as we laid a true hero of the Auxilia to rest. He had sacrificed his life, fighting off a horde of cultists alone so that the wounded could be evacuated safely. They brought out his body, wrapped in a shroud of gold embroidered silks, placing it upon an altar to be consecrated before burial. The company, one by one, began to sing an ancient song, whose words had been adapted and since time long forgotten. I don't know, I know what song this is referencing, but I don't know the whole melody. So I wish I could sing the whole bits, but I will just read the words. So I apologize in advance. I know the chorus, but just not the regular verses. He was just a rookie scion, and he surely shook with fright. He checked off his equipment and made sure his helm was tight. He has to sit and listen to those awful engines roar. He ain't gonna fight no more. As the refrain began, each of us held our candle. One by one, we lit the candle of the person beside us, a sea of tiny lights. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna fight no more. The priests anointed the silk with the holy oil, chanting in high Gothic hymns and psalms of duty, honor, and heroism. Let's kill some filthy traitors, cried the sergeant, looking up. Our hero answered bravely, yes. And then they stood him up. He charged out of the chimera, his lasgun in his hands. You ain't gonna fight no more. His squad took the body, carrying it to the sarcophagus he would be interred within. The company followed in formation, singing the refrain in unison. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna fight no more. Each of his comrades placed a memento in with him. A piece of them to stay with their friend as he went to meet the Emperor. He worshipped long, he worshipped loud. He said a hopeful prayer. He felt the fire, he felt the smoke, he felt the dreadful air. He shot his gun, the charge pack blew, and burnt him to a crisp. You ain't gonna fight no more. Servitors slid the heavy stone lid over his tomb while we saluted the fallen in the sign of the Aquila. We sung the refrain, loud and proud, the grisly and dark lyrics of the song sung with joy, not sorrow. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna fight no more. We were all members of the Auxilia. And ceremonies like this remind us of what our fate would be one day. Yet, no man or woman here wants anything more than to be remembered like this, as a hero and martyr for the Imperium. Hoo-wee. Man, that was good. I remember seeing this one. It's like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Reading it is a doozy. Like, reading it aloud is very different from, like, just reading it in my head. Whoo! Man. Yeah, I was trying to not get choked up while I was reading it, and I was like, this is very difficult. This is very difficult. Very, very difficult. It's fine. Gideon Kaiser, sub-lieutenant of the 1st Century Cohort, defender of the Crimson Citadel, and current sitter of an uncomfortable crate, ate a nutrient-rich protein bar that reminded him of the rats he'd eaten as a child in the lower Habs. During the assault on Terra, traitor forces had sent multiple waves against the Crimson Citadel, and every time they had been repelled, until the enemy troopers breached the main gatehouse and finally made it inside. The cohort had tried to push them out, but the word bearers had quickly reinforced them. The cohort had managed to hold them at the gate thanks to the tanks, but had taken heavy losses. The enemy had a foothold in the citadel. Gideon waited for the next sortie against the gate. Sorry. Move over, Ensign Gala said, lightly kicking his boot and bringing him out of his stupor. He obliged her, shuffling to one side. She sat down next to him, drinking water from her canteen. They brought up gang members from the lower Habs. The Hellbenders are here. Gala trailed off. Your old gang, right? Gideon asked, after taking another bite and passing the bar over to her. Gala took the bar, took a large bite, and passed the canteen to Gideon. She chewed it for a long time before saying, Yeah. Strange seeing my older brother in flak armor and holding a lasgun. You talked to him? Asked Gideon. I haven't said a word to him since I left the gang, Gala replied quickly. Well, you might want to say something while you still can. Gideon sipped at the canteen, and the silence lingered. Gala asked quietly, Would you come with me? I got your 6, Gideon replied lightly, standing up from the crate. Both of them started to make their way back to the groups of gangers. Tech boys were working on some of the last vehicles they had in this area. They both stopped when the speakers squeaked to life. Tribune Canmere stood atop one of the last functional tanks. His pockmarked armor and tired eyes betrayed exhaustion, but his posture was rigid with resolve. A voxcaster was in his hand. The cord looped around his arm several times before going back into the tank. His voice came from some of the speakers around the loading area. I don't care what gang you're from or what you've done in the past, Canmere's voice echoed through the speakers. You lot might be from the lower Habs, but today you are Auxilia of the 1st Century Cohort, and you will do your duty. Be proud. Today you protect your families and everyone in and under this citadel. Our patroness isn't here, and we won't be reinforced from outside. We might be one of the last fortresses still standing near the Imperial Palace. Our duty isn't to win this war. Our duty is to hold this citadel. To keep the enemy out. To keep our people alive. Today, we storm the gate. Yes. Very based speech. Very based speech. I like that speech. There's another version of that song with a similar refrain. Yeah, I know there's a lot of versions for the song that was like a a few stories ago. There's a lot of different versions, and it was like referenced that there's so many versions of that song. I'm sorry I didn't know I would have sang it if I knew how the verses went exactly. I had an inkling, but I didn't want to mess it up that badly. Even in death. Keep up the pressure on the right. We don't want to lose our inertia. Get those supplies unlocked and dispersed. We're running behind. Emperor's Might. Pick it up, people. This was the typical deployment for Centuria Castinus Tannar, barking orders, requesting resupplies, and ensuring everyone in his command was at their best. However, instead of requesting reinforcements and munitions or deploying squads of scions, Tannar deployed herbs and spices within his battlefield. The field kitchen, ordering resupplies of belly-churn cheese and striker milk, and ensuring his company's platoons are well fed. For him and his crew, the greatest battles were not fought with lasguns or bayonets, but with spatulas and good food, the eternal battle against hunger. Based. As final preparations were made in the buffet serving line, the first waves of Auxilia arrived. Blessed morning, 7th Platoon. Please make an orderly line at the front of the breakfast servings. Specialist Nero, where are those dining slates and cutlery? While in the guard, the common belief was that they ate only plain and tasteless nutrient bars or the infamous corpse starch. More of a half-truth, such rations were only given to units either as punishment or when long campaigns within hostile territory. He winced at the thought, as it was an affront to the culinary arts. To Tannar, a highly effective and specialized force like the Tempris Auxilia couldn't be sustained solely on those rations. Thankfully, the Grand Lord Marshal herself thought similarly. Yes, I agree with this. Hence, she commanded the creation of company field kitchens. Like other kitchens, Tannar and his unit were attached to a command unit, more specifically, the mighty 3rd Company's headquarters. On longer campaigns, he and his fellow cooks whipped up pre-made meals for the Auxilia, having them shipped to the front lines in stasis crates to ensure they stayed hot and fresh. Credit where credit is due, though. The boys in Spectrans fly and drive through the 9 hells to ensure their food is delivered. Tannar ran a tight operation, and his crew was expected to perform as if serving the Emperor himself or the Grand Lord Marshal herself. Specialist Clarice, once you're done with those trays, get the beverage stands ready. Specialist Hallam, see if the condiment dispensers have been refueled and re-blessed to function. Specialist Nero, quicken the pace with those algae loafs. With their setup, he and his crew could feed hundreds of personnel within a few hours. They offer a wide range of foods with rotating menus to boost morale, fresh fruit, apple peach sweets, and beverage options in their dispensaries. A popular drink with the platoons was the green Tarox, but Tannar couldn't stomach energy drinks. Everything and everyone was moving like clockwork. As the last of the 7th Platoon filed out, the combined forces of the 4th and 10th Platoons soon took their place. As exhausting as this work was, Tannar smiled to himself. He loved his job. Feeding his brothers and sisters in arms was its own reward, as cheesy as it sounds. Yes. Yes. Correct. Absolutely correct. They gotta get fed. Make sure if you haven't eaten today, please go eat. Please go eat. Keep up your strength. Please, please, please. Keep up your strength. Go get the food. 4th mentioned, yeah. The 4th. Green Tark sounds like Monster Energy drink. I think that's what is implied. That was what I thought of too. That's what I thought so too. Recommended eatery, Taco Bell. I thought for a second there was going to be a gratuitous reference to Code Red, but I'm actually proud that there wasn't one. I'm proud that there wasn't one. That was even in... I don't know if that's the right title. Is it an even in depth? I don't think that's the right title. Had Taco Bell today, man. I thought about having Taco Bell today, but I have food in my fridge I need to eat. I need to eat it. That was great. That was great. Calm before the war. When the last messages from Chapter Master Calgar came, many of the Tempris Auxilia were finished prepping for their departure from a crag. It had been 12 years since Calum had heard of Cadia's demise, and now the Indomitus Crusade had come to the homeworld of the 13th. The Tempris Auxilia were being called upon to serve as the Legion's eyes, to relay enemy movements and provide ordnance support for his brothers across Macragge. Attention, Combat Group Omega! His vox spurred with the chatter of the Strike Company command. All Scions report to hangar stations for overseer debrief on the next assignment. A pause. He had not had a chance to refit his gear after the immediate skirmish with traitor forces 3 days prior, and he was already being redeployed? Our Lord's resources are thin if he's calling for us. Calum would never refuse an order to deploy, of course, but to ask for more strike companies, especially deep into the 9th, well, there was only so much to go around. The fighting had spread far from Cadia's reach, and all of the Emperor's servants were being called upon, from the lowliest servitor to even his great patron. All were called to the Imperium's defense. As the hallway began to slim, he could see his comrades in the recon command squad. About time you arrived. Late as ever, Cam. Well, I had wanted to tidy my kit, but alas, the work of a medicae is never done. He stuffed the last of his stims and numbing agents away. Lastly, he grabbed his sidearm from the deck servitors. A pale look began to wash over him. What troubles you, brother? I'm sorry, Val. First large-scale jitters and all. Afraid you'll make a mess of something, eh? Pay no mind to that. You're the best field net around. He wrapped his arm around Calum and spoke softly. I dare say you could even give the apothecaries of the 13th a run for their money. Calum backed. Perish the thought, my brother, lest you want to become a servitor by day's end for bad-mouthing the Astartes. He chuckled. Well, they're too busy keeping to their rules to pay us any mind. As they finished chatting, a primus from the 2nd Strike Company began to calm the docking bay to a silent hum. Brothers and sisters of the 9th, it is with great honor and pride that I should be able to relay your orders for deployment to Macragge. As he began listing different teams to their assignments, Calum whispered, Do you know if they'll send us to the front or have us on recon duty? It's hard to say, my friend. Rest assured, nothing bad will happen on my watch. Varric von Hart had always been uplifting to the people around him. Some say he could pluck hope from the depths of... From the depths of despair. 13th Recon, step forward. Now, he thought, will be a time to prove myself as a scion. Yay! Nice. Yeah, prove yourself, buddy. Forgive me, I'm writing down notes. Oh yes, thank you. I will drink. I will hydrate. All right. Only in death. Centuria. Oh, goodness. Is this the one? No, it's not. I don't think it. All right. Centuria. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry in advance. I'm gonna butcher it. Centuria Nevok strained on broken limbs as he crawled towards the plasma gun that had been knocked from his grip. His assailant, a traitorous Emperor's Children space marine, chuckled with amusement at his prey struggle. Navok? It's Navok? Okay, we'll go with Navok. Navok and his squad were tasked with providing support to the defending Astartes forces. Even though the Auxilia was newly formed and was nowhere close to being a proper fighting force, Terra was under siege. They had laid an ambush for an Emperor's Children squad, and with the clever baiting of the Imperial fists, drew them into position. While they, as mortals, stood no real chance of taking out a full squad of transhuman demigods, They didn't need to. The full weight of a massive hab complex, brought down by a series of precise detonations, would do that for them. Unfortunately, one of them was not with the rest to join their premature burial, and now without the protection of the Imperial Fist that had retreated farther back to a more entrenched position, they became free game for that sadistic lone survivor. After some maneuvering, they evaded the traitor and attempted to lure him into an impromptu trap in a dilapidated librarium. However, clearly being the only one of his number to possess the ability to see past his arrogance, this failed spectacularly. He had evaded the explosives and brutalized most of the squad using just his hands. Thrasher, bless his soul, managed to get the closest to possibly bring down the monster after he had leapt from the second-story balcony and landed on him. He got a few good stabs in before he was grabbed by the top of his head and whipped violently downwards. Ooh. Navok squeezed a charged plasma shot off at the Astartes, but due to his broken arm, his shot only grazed the Astartes' left pauldron. This had only angered the giant, and it charged Navok, tossing him across the room. Having been narrowly trampled, the Centuria now dragged his broken body across the floor. A last shot cracked through the air, and both hunter and prey looked in its direction. Bentonia stood there, rifle clearly shaking. Her shot nailed the back of the Marine's head, but surprisingly, the Marine smiled. He grabbed her weapon and the arm stabilizing it in his massive fist. She screeched in pain and flailed helplessly in his grip. Navok reached for the gun and, barely lifting it, fired a shot into the elbow joint of the arm that held Bentonia. She and the arm fell, and the Space Marine refocused his attention to the prone Centuria. Navok's next shot went wide as his broken arm failed to keep the gun propped up. He cried out in agony as his legs and pelvis were crushed beneath a titanic boot. "Any last screams, Worm? I'll record them for my symphony." The twisted Astartes grinned. Navok looked at the dangerously incandescent weapon about to overload in his hand. "A duty honorably discharged." Centuria Navok growled as he pulled the trigger. "Yes! Get him!" Yes, I love that. That was great. I love it. He's like all arrogant and you're like, got you, boy. I like that. That was great. Discharged. I thought that was great. Dad pun to death. You know what? That's fair, honestly. There are worse fates. There are worse fates. Sorry, I'm stretching my back. There we go. Okay. How's everyone doing? Do we need, let's see, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are halfway through. We are halfway through. How's everyone doing? We enjoying them so far? I know I am. Yeah, they're pretty quick when they're really short stories. Sorry, I was taking a sip of my drink. Yes, they're good stories. That's why I like doing this. You guys are so creative. I meant to write it down, but I didn't get to it yesterday. I actually had a very interesting dream. Not a dream. It was like right before I was going to bed. I was having weird thoughts. I'll explain it later. But I was gonna write a story, and I'm debating if I should write it or if I should just explain the story. We'll see. We'll see. In any case, we will continue, and then we will discuss later whether or not I share my story, because I thought about writing one, but I think it needs to be written down for, like, it's really, like, to hit just right. Having a great time, yay! I'm impressed by the quality. I didn't expect it. Yeah, a lot of people, we have a really nice community, and a lot of people, like, give each other, like, advice, and I know there's some people like, hey, can I get some feedback? And there's a lot of people that are really kind and will give, like, kind feedback and not just like, this sucks, your work is terrible. Like, everyone's real supportive. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's real good. I really like these. So, we shall continue. Upon the arrival of a custodian from abroad, with news of a survivor from the lost 10th Company, members of the Auxilia have been wondering why had a custodian brought the news instead of it being sent by an astropathic choir. One member of the first armored company was in the service bay doing some routine maintenance on a Lehman Russ Voxcaster set, alongside some new recruits and junior scions. Lost in the flow of the cleaning of parts, he began telling a tale of when he was a junior rate and his first encounter with them. We had finally pushed the enemy back from the defenses, giving us just enough time to tally our dead, restock munitions, and grab a mouthful of recaf before the push came. Led by the Flaming Saint herself, we charged over the top of our redoubts and into no man's land with a clash with the most hated foe. And as we locked blades with the foe, the sky lit up with the light of a nova. The death of a ship in orbit was not uncommon to see at that point in the war, but one of this size was, for in the fading light they came. They came on flaming columns of light and fire, drop pods landing on and among the enemy, Astartes gunships bringing down armor of all variations, as well as even more Astartes. They fought with fury and intensity not seen in other chapters. They ended the war in what seemed no time at all, but that is where the story changed, as once the fighting had ended, they began what they called reclamation operations. They began hauling everything from the fields of battle, ally and foe alike. One of their tech marines came up to the Lehman Russ I was crewing, placed an armored gauntlet on it, and left. Well, that was strange, I thought, but did not question it further. I was delivering a report to headquarters, and as soon as I stepped foot into headquarters, a bolt gun was pointed directly at me. As a young trooper then, I had no idea what to do other than to freeze on the spot, and protect was all that I could think of. You need to understand, General, this is not a request. Until the reclamation fleet arrives, no one will be leaving this planet or system. The voice was deep, with hidden threat in it. Fine. I heard the commander growl, and I was dismissed without giving the report. I'm thankful for that, 'cause I about soiled myself. I still had to change my underwear before heading back to the Dust Bowl. The old sergeant chuckles to himself and returns to his task. None asked who he was talking about, but they all knew who they were. A banner of the fallen 10th remained standing in the halls of history, the hallowed ground beneath the galactic plane. Very nice. Very nice. I like how you brought it back at the end. You're like, they. This is the they. All right. All right. This one, sorry, this one seems familiar, so... Wait, did we? One second. I'm looking at my... This one seems familiar. I just want to make sure this isn't one that's... It's not a repeat, or I accidentally forgot to get rid of a story. One moment. One more. Oh yeah, I think this one was an accident. Oops. This was from an old one, I think. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Oops, my bad. I was like, wait, no, it's not a repeat. It was from it's repeated from a previous story. Wait a moment. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna check this really fast, because... Oh, that's what happened. Got it. Okay. There was 2 stories in here that I accidentally forgot to delete. Because I use the same, like, I use the same layout for these. No, it's okay. It's not terribly scuffed. It was just enough scuff. Okay. So, I apologize in advance. This is not going to be the best pronunciation that you will ever see. Alright. Because Latin, and I don't speak Hawaiian, unfortunately. Numquam, Obliviscaris, Numquam, Ignoscas. As a custodian tasked with guarding the Segmentum Obscurus after the fall of Cadia, it was Custodian Kalani's duty to ensure the horrors of the warp do not leave. And if they should leave, they will find no refuge. And this is a part where I'm definitely 100% gonna mess it up. I apologize. I have a cheat sheet, but I don't think I'm gonna say it right because I've never been good at the phonetics, how to like pronounce things. Even with like the little symbols over him, I don't know. The Custodian Kalani, ka o aya ayo aiwa wahai aika kopo ele e ho aike aika ho alu alu. Sorry. Watched for any signals. He got one, but it was different. This time it was another custodian. Even more so, it was the shield captain, and they were requesting magenta priority evacuation. With immediate haste, he sent his entire fleet into the Eye of Terror with the Gellerfields at maximum. Every Sister of Silence, every Auxilia member of Kanaka Maoli, with fire in their hearts, all ready and willing to attack all the horrors of man that awaits for his rescue. As they approached the signal, they noticed it was coming from a single agile ship docked with Exorcist Grand Cruiser with markings showing that it was a pre-heresy ship, a true ghost ship. For what reason was another custodian doing with this ship? Kalani wondered, but he can't find answers speculating. He grabbed his Vexilia and Guardian Spear, instructed his engine seers to ready the teleport chamber, and sent him, 3 squads of sisters and 200 of his Auxilia as close as possible to the signal. With everyone readied, the custodian and his retinue teleported. Appearing in a gold blinding light, Kalani and forces appeared before another golden custodian whose face was smeared with tears and anger. Before him was none other than Aurelia Tempris, whose Auxilia was strewn about the area protecting Aurelia. No, protecting something. Within an instant, the battle was completely changed, favoring the custodians and their Auxilia. The newly appeared Kanaka... Man, I didn't get his last name, how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna say Kanaka. Was administering Medicae upon the dying Tempris Auxilia, for even with limbs missing, entire body parts melted, they were still firing into the horde of demons trying to overtake them. The 3 squads of sisters leapt towards the demons that were trying to flank them to ensure the path towards the landing craft that Tempris Auxilia used was safe and clear. When Kalani asked Aurelia what the purpose of this boarding was, she could not answer but only cry as she held a tapestry close to her chest. Kalani and Aurelia were close, so he knew instantly what it could be. With incredible haste, the custodians ran towards the landing craft to ensure the safety of the tapestry. With the help of Kalani's Vexilia, they were able to both find a path to the ship and ensure that the Auxilia could safely teleport out. With the tapestry safely aboard the landing craft and flying towards safety, both Auxilia safe and sound, Aurelia revealed what it was. Oh, man. Man. A beautiful tapestry of her and Sanguinius on their wedding day, exchanging vows. Although it was made for them as a gift, it was never delivered until now. Bro, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta do that to me, bro? Why? Why you do that? That's rude. It's incredibly rude. That's so rude, man. First, you make me say a really hard name that I still couldn't pronounce properly, and then you do that? Wow. And from one of my mods, no less. Oh. Yeah, and the Auxilia, like, they would die because of a tapestry. They'd be willing to die if Aurelia said, man, I want to save Sanguinius' sweatshirt. I want the sweatshirt back. They go on a crusade to go get it. With very vague clues. Oh, man. Why you do this to me? I mean, am I wrong? The sweatshirt. Sweatshirts are so incredibly based. That's specific. Yeah, it's got to be oversized. Wait, have you not? Look. Okay. All right. For those of you that don't know, I will inform you. If you ever have a girlfriend, your sweatshirts and or jackets will get stolen. Not like stolen, but like she will take your jacket because it will smell like you. If she likes you enough, let me just say that. She will steal it. And she will like it because it has your scent on it. And then she'll return it to you. And you will also like it because it'll probably have her like perfume, or it'll have her scent on it, and it's like, oh, it's nice. So yes, can confirm girlfriends do that thing. I have many a time stolen a sweatshirt, but I always return it. Red Wolf said I could have all his hoodies. That's a lot of hoodies. I imagine he has a lot at least. So there you go. See? So if I said, wow, Tempris Auxilia, I really just wish I could get his sweatshirt back. I know where it is, I just don't have the time to go get it. They would probably go get it. Can you please retrieve Sanguinius' sweatshirt from Trazyn? Hoodies are so based though. They're very comfy. Anyways, there you go. There's the context. Like, you think I'm kidding about the sweatshirts and the jackets? No. They will get stolen. Until the eyes tire. Hey boys, how do I look? Leaning against the window, the man asked. The only answer was howling wind through the cracks. This didn't bother him. He felt his companion's presence, their sighs echoing in his ears. You know what they never tell you? Only silence, but in his mind's eye, he saw them rolling their eyes. It's how tired your eyes get. Charts, projections, skulls, and still they want you watching for any shadows or glint flickering, ready to flash the bastard before he flashes you. It hurts. His grip on pistol tightened, finger stuck on the trigger. Dark. While incense always finds its way inside your visor. If you're lucky, it only stings when you blink. Mihawk was right, that servo skull is smarter than us all. He got a metal one. Lucky are the grunts barely allowed to raise their eyes. More energy to roll them at me, right? Smirking, he didn't need to turn. After 20 years, he knew their heads would be down. Caps and masks couldn't hide it. He faced the windowsill, ears bleeding. I thought I'd get weary of the gold too. It was everywhere. Each step cost half a sector's tithe. Each training and briefing blinding. I didn't dare look directly. Most didn't. The honor too heavy. Our duty too important. We couldn't blind ourselves in that golden flame and become golden in that eyes too. Yet I should have seen it. Like the Legion of old, we covered ourselves in purple, white, and fake gold. We're already mad, but I couldn't see it, for my eyes aren't golden yet. Dawn broke through, illuminating twisted flesh and metal inside chest grinding to failure. Yet, what he saw was a red deluge of bolts, his sword alongside hundreds, carving, dodging, and rolling abreast. 10,000 hours of training ending in one breath. He cut through waves of armor and flesh, his arm taken by Dark Maw ahead, the screams of defiant and dying. So few left. Silent comms. Red button, bottom click, and... Blood flowed, and the tainted ring of white armor bodies around him, golden irises and heads down, as they sank knives and teeth into the foe. So we tried to make our own flame. This last standing room and hills of charred bodies were all that remained. His mouth trembled as he started to cry. We are golden clad. We are the blinding light. We are her branding fire. We burn until it is done. Until it is done, right? Suddenly, familiar Auramite steps. He turned as if possessed, trying to salute, but charred eye sockets couldn't see what was left. Odysseus Burt, mouth filled with blood. Report, success. With a knowing smile, for a moment he returned to his prime, standing tall like the Tempris Auxilia banner with its golden eye beside him, and asked, "Hey, Commander, how do I look?" He couldn't hear anymore, but he didn't need to. It echoed deep within. With your eyes, Bert, with your eyes. Bro, you did not just pull a Sesame Street. You just pulled a Sesame Street pun. Just pulled a Sesame Street pun out here. Oh my gosh. I was like, wait a second, wait a moment. Wow. Alright, we'll go to the next one. The Prime Director. Flash. Fire. The holoscreen flared as 1,000 men died. The Tempris Primus, however, merely sighed. He had already seen thousands of similar flashes today. Warning hymns chimed in response to another nuclear launch. Enemy atomics at play again. Circling his hand around a group of holographic regiments, the Primus began to calmly reorganize his battle lines on the command table. The Grand Lord High Marshal herself had placed him in control over this conquest, charging him with bringing glory to the Auxilia. As he reviewed the tactical readouts, casualty estimates rounded to the low billions. Acceptable. He began ordering sweeping, dramatic offensives while intentionally bottlenecking resources to make each assault just desperate enough for the commander's planet side. He smiled gently as time dissolved into an endless deluge of battle reports, death toll figures, and reinforcement requests. Suddenly, the observation windows of the ship's bridge polarized as one of his flotilla's frigates exploded. Suboptimal, he murmured. At least the ship's captain had the decency to aim his dying ship towards the enemy positions. The Primus shrugged as he dispatched his new battle plans, not even bothering to acknowledge the nameless adjutant that he'd sent to relay his decrees. Instead, he gazed serenely down at the world, a beacon of composure presiding over an apocalypse unfurling below. Undoubtedly, he mused, life in the mud-soaked, radioactive trenches would be hellish for the common footslogger, but the guard would hold. It's what they trained commissars for, after all. No, the hardest job fell on officers of rank like himself. it was their duty to turn butchered flesh into victories, into legends that would last 1,000 years. Serenely, he watched his flanks across the northern continent disintegrate under sustained nuclear fire. They didn't matter, but extra martyrs always came in handy. Thrown, by the time the news had reached him, he'd already had impassioned sermons dispersed throughout the remaining regiments. The Northern Army's nuclear annihilation would galvanize his southern divisions against their barbarous foe. Naturally, ensuing reprisals against civilian populations will be tacitly ignored. He smirked behind his golden face mask as he carefully crafted drama playing out before him. Millions of lives burned away every second beneath him. Mass suffering was often necessary to add weight to narrative. War was just a stage play. Soldiers were actors while generals were directors. And his audience? The entire Imperium. But now it was time for the story to end. Imperial forces were pushed back and demoralized. The enemy lines were stretched thin. The planet's centers of power were vulnerable. Tapping a hidden rune on his screen, hundreds of Tempris Auxilia icons suddenly lit up across the globe. He had allowed his Militarum brethren to soak up the fire, making the conflict appear hopeless. But now it was time for the Crimson Host to secure victory, unsullied by the suffering the Guard sustained, unmarred by their shameful brutality. This war would become a saga sung throughout the galaxy, cementing the Auxilia's place in the Senatorum's mind. He'd make it so, because after all, every story needs its heroes. Oh, okay, I got chills at the end of that. I was like, man, this man is like horrible. It like straight up reminded me of in First and Only by Dan Abnett. Like, there is a character, he's basically a general, and he is like, he has this like same mentality, except like he just hates everyone pretty much. This is like very, it's very, very smart, but holy moly, all the suffering that had to happen in order to make the Auxilia seem so cool. Yes, thank you, Lord General Dravir, thank you. Yeah. You see, I don't think I knew this about him when I promoted him. Holy moly, but well said. Dang. I'm gonna call this Dravir story. I'm making my little like notes on the story, on all the stories. Holy cow. Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's I know. I might need to fire him. We might need to do more than fire him. He kind of seems like a sociopath. He sounds like a sociopath. That's not very good, but they're kind of everywhere in the Imperium, so it's hard to get rid of them all. Holy moly. Fire him out of a cannon. Yes. Holy cow. Dang. Is this the second Kaiser I've seen? I think everyone likes the KY names. Being Inquisition would love to have them. Oh yes, you're right, it is the same story. Oh, that's right. There we go, thank you. I was like, is this another Kaiser? Yeah, thank you. Okay, there we go. I'm just making sure I was reading this all right. Defiance of One. Vulcan Hammer stood in hell. Of 10 men in Typhoon Squad, he was its only survivor. Their bodies lay scattered and eviscerated, soaking the bloody soil. It was just a simple recon. Scout a small village that could be used by traitorous forces to assault the Citadel and a portion of the palace wall, and report our findings to Captain Aurelia. But it had gone horrifically wrong. Vulcan removed his battered helm and tossed it aside. Blood dripped steadily down his face. He wiped some away as he raised his rifle and aimed it at the hulking, corrupted demigod before him. Exquisite. A voice sickeningly sweet and velvet spoke from the demigod. To see such a fire and resolve still in your eyes after the loss of your comrades is just delicious. The demigod flashed a viper's smile as his grip adjusted upon his swords. I had heard rumors that my beloved sister had been given command of an elite force for this battle. How I have wanted to play with one of her toys since my arrival, and now I have one. Vulcan felt a cold chill run down his spine as he tightened his rifle grip. The demigod took a step forward with a hand outstretched. I can see a longing in in you that Aurelia does not see. I could offer you a place with me where your true potential is realized. The demigod smiled, but Vulcan could see that the depravity behind his glimmering eyes. I am a soldier of the Tempris Auxilia. I serve my lady Aurelia, and I do my service for the Emperor. Vulcan steeled his gaze. I deny your being, Fulgrim. Fulgrim's eye twitched. The gall of this guardsman. In that brief window of Fulgrim's comprehension, Vulcan made his move. A las round streaked towards the Primarch's head. Fulgrim, even caught off guard, was still much faster than the round, and he moved his head just slightly as it flew past. But in that small moment, a chainsword made contact with his opulent armor. Vulcan ran past, dragging his chainsword along the immaculate ceramite. Ugh, I know what that word is. Leaving a scratch on the Phoenician side, Vulcan couldn't help but feel proud as he saw a small chip in the ceramite. He had done something thought impossible. A mere mortal had damaged a demigod. The moment was short-lived as he felt the Primarch's swords pierce him. Vulcan could feel the Primarch's rage as he looked into his eyes and laughed, spitting blood into the Phoenician's face. I am Vulcan Harem, proud member of the Tempris Auxilia, and you will remember me, Invicta, and for the Burning Saint. Vulcan laughed as he died, cleaved in two by a demonic visage of a son of the Emperor. History may have forgotten him, but he would be remembered forever. He may have lost on Terra, but he had wounded Fulgrim's pride, and the champion of Slaanesh would never forget the name Vulcan Harem and the Tempris Auxilia. Yes. Yeah, this is 40k. This is 40k Fulgrim. At least I'm assuming so. But yeah, Rylanor likes this. But I did read in the most recent book, Fulgrim the Perfect Son. He has the ability to turn from regular Fulgrim, where he has legs, and then he can turn into his snake boy self. So, yeah. He can do that. He got him. I'm so glad. You just wreck Fulgrim's pride. That's the only way you can really win. Ooh, this should be good. Whispers in the Blood. A Guardsman's Last Letter. 057, M42, Region Sector. Hiveworld Orentier. Segmentum Obscurus. The fighting in the Citadel grows fiercer every second. The Auxilia had conquered most of the front and begun to push into its upper reaches, but further progress would be halted with an absurd amount of Khorne demons appearing from the Imperium. "Hold the line! Soldiers of the throne, do not falter!" shouted the Primus. Though the Auxilians were as bold as ever, he knew their morale was not infinite. He stood precariously on the shattered statue pedestal overlooking the main hall near the entrance, setting his custom-fitted voice amplifier to max. "We are the soldiers of the Tempris Auxilia, the finest mortal sons and daughters of the Imperium." A subtle pause ensued, Every loyalist in the building readied themselves to join the coming words of their Primus. For the Golden Throne, for the Grand Lord Marshal. The building reverberated at those words as if it had been hit with an artillery strike. The cacophony of shouts accompanied by hell pistol and hell gunfire, the company's battle beast, a feathered bipedal creature of ancient Terra, not dissimilar to the carnosaurs of the Exodite Eldari, roared in agreement. Wait. We got beasts. We got beasts here. That's cool. Suddenly, an eight-pointed star drew itself on the main hallway, tracing itself perfectly over the tile's artistry, all heralded by a drastic increase of demonic activity. A massive bloodthirster tore itself a hole into real space. A cage of wrought iron obscured its head completely. It screamed for blood, gore, skulls, and all things Khorne desired. A Leman Russ charged through the walls, ramming its mass into the demon and unleashing its Vanquisher cannon point blank into its head. The demon reeled in agony as it sent the tank flying out the wall it came from, with an enormous expulsion of warp energy, burying all nearby in rubble. The pillars shook. Some crumbled. The Primus wasted not a single moment, mounting his battle beast, charging the demon's now exposed head. The coronate arrangement of horns housed a gem. It's clear that its destruction would grant some sort of edge for the loyalists. The beast jumped. So did the Primus. The beast's lowered chainsaw rends the steel vambraces and tainted flesh of the demon's arm. The Primus wields the parting gift of his sanctioned psyker, a fully charged force axe high in the air, all of his might channeled into the blow. The Emperor Blessed Strike hacks the crystal apart into uncountable pieces. The demon's retaliation is futile. Thrashing around with ruined and pinned limbs, the Primus continued to strike his axe into the demon's skull, fighting through the pain of broken bones and aching muscles to make purchase with every blow. The demon began to disintegrate faster, yet it disappeared, not into the immaterium, but into the axe. Inspection deemed the demon inside to be contained safely for now, entrusting it to the Shadow Keepers to be locked up in the dark cells below Terra. Thus was the tale of the Tempris Auxilia Third Company, the Daemonbane. That's very nice. I cannot wait until the next episode of this, where inevitably this gets stolen and unleashed. It sounds like the plot for like a fantasy novel where it's like a demon is trapped inside this blade and then someone steals the blade. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Wait, how many stories have we got through? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. We got through 16. It's actually, I think we have a little less than 21. We might have like 19. So we only have a couple more left. Trazyn is already planning it. Yeah, I know. I would want a weapon with like a demon soul in it too. Be pretty cool, but it sounds very cursed. Sounds very cursed. Ode to Wittichar's Wail. I'm being called out. What is this? The Custodes did what Custodes do. So, basically nothing. How many times do I have to explain this? We are leaving. But why? Did we do a bad job guarding the palace, Lieutenant? No. The cohort is being deployed off Holy Terra as a training mission. A bunch of orcs are encroaching in segmentum 1357T43, and the captain volunteered us to clean out T43G to T43R, minimum. She expects us to perform. We don't wear the gold and gravel for nothing. The lieutenant tugged on his uniform, trying to smooth down a persistent crease in the white marble camo. I like that. I like that a lot. It's been 16 months since I've worn this. formal uniforms. If it's still wrinkly at the launch ceremony, suddenly the fear that he no longer remembered how to affix the golden trim popped into his head. He hadn't warned them because he was only stretching out his uniform today, and how much pomp did he need to spread the orders? What if he... Are they sending the Baneblade? Okay. He turned from the dumb one to the lurking one. I don't know what they're attaching to us. Some regular guard for sure. Hopefully some rattling snipers. Oh, I'd love... No, the Baneblade. A blank stare, which wasn't easy. This one had eyes that seemed to see too much, too deeply. That we already have? Nothing. The thing that we guard all day? The custodes breathed for the first time in several minutes, having forgotten how often normals needed to do that. Normals. I know who this is. We guard a highway junction. A junction the Baneblade guards, and we guard it. Now, you listen here. Why aren't there any rattlings in the Auxilia? The dumb one piped up. Is it 'cause the Baneblade shoots farther? I don't know why, training regs or something, and what rattlings make 10 times a guard's pay in the Pipe Crawlers Union, and that's just the base pay. Between the Palace, Cogboys, Administratum, Lower Palace, visiting Astartes looking for emergency repairs inside some war machine, the PCU pays. Lieutenant, how short you gotta be to join the PCU? Could I transfer? How do you not know about the giant tank we guard all day? Guess that camo really works. Do you mean the heavy turret emplacement? The turret. It moves. Have you never heard of a mobile turret? The lieutenant broke eye contact, but realized he could still feel that one looking at his soul. Thinking one last insulting question so loud he may as well have been shouting it. Like herding felinids, half the questions were too utterly stupid to answer, the other too... correct. You have any questions, Chuck? The custodian shifted his marble slab shield to his other shoulder and put on his voice. No. Go smash orcs. Come back, better at smashing everyone else. See, this is why Ogrins are among the best of the Emperor's servants. These were going to be the best blood games in a century. Nice. Nice. We love a good blood game. And I would definitely set up one for the Auxilia. That would be awesome. Paid. I was told to fight or I don't eat. No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. The Auxilia, they get paid. They get paid. It says in the lore book that they get paid. They get paid. Yeah. They get paid. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Do they get dental? Of course. Of course, you get dental. Absolutely. Paid in exposure? Oh gosh. Yeah, they would probably all get paid to some extent. I don't know about knights. Well, because knights kind of more have like vows, so I don't know if they would like get paid. That's kind of like more volunteer-esque. I think it would only be the Auxilia, because sisters of the four groups, we have the Auxilia, we have the Sisters of Battle, we have the Radiant Sons, that Space Marine chapter, and then the Knights. I would assume only the Auxilia get paid because they're regular guard. Yeah. So sisters I don't think get paid, they just do it because they're so incredibly devoted. Space Marines, it's like the same vibe, they don't get paid. Like, they just get taken care of. And then the Knights would probably, it's probably an oath or something, they probably don't get paid. Unless it was like, hey, come do this thing. We order you, and perhaps we'll give you a bonus. That's what I'm thinking. I get paid with my 1x1 square meter room. I think it's gonna be bigger. It's gotta be bigger than that. Because that's what, 3 feet by 3 feet? That's not even enough to put a bed in. Your room is bigger than that. Anyone can help with any additional lore that they would like to make. It's not all on one person. It's whoever is motivated. Guard pay is probably not a lot, but it's improved. It's better pay for the Auxilia. All right. Oh. Crimson Tide. In. Captain. Ever since the central elevator got upgraded, I can hear it humming all the time. I don't want to ask to downgrade it since it's much faster, but could we get a tech priest out to pour a bunch of oil on it or something? I can't get any quality sleep. Marshal Bravo. Boss, I've been tracking the central elevator since the upgrade. While it is several times faster once you have entered the elevator, it seems that total travel times have increased substantially. Perhaps we could have cargo loaded to the side and wait till there is a passenger, then load the cargo to reduce trips? Marshal Ham. Founder Tempris, these wardens keep riding the elevator. Not because they have anywhere to go, just because it's fun, and it has windows now. You can see the whole hab, and it's so fast now. Just yesterday, I had to get the Crimson Keep from Habs, and I was waiting for 50 minutes. Then found out these idiots kept setting the lift to go down, then increasing the emergency brake more and more to see who could stay standing in the highest gravity. Please fire all the wardens. Let's just get a completely fresh batch. Marshal knows. Until further noticed, wardens no longer have access to the central lift. They may ride along with a legitimate user, but may not use it themselves, nor access the controls. Founder, Living Saint, Captain General, Aurelia the Burning Saint, Queen in Gold, Unyielding Aegis, Cleaner of Corruption, Custodian of the Crimson Host, the Crimson Widow, the Violet Voxcaster, Imperial Cupbearer, and Imperium's Herald, Tempris. See, but before I was like, it seems like it's fine, it's okay, and then, you shouldn't mess with the emergency brakes. You shouldn't mess with the emergency brakes. Yeah. That's pretty dangerous. Okay. Oh, was that it? That was the last one? Wait. I think that was the last one. Wow. We like snuck up on it. Let me double check. Let me look. One moment. Yeah, that was the last one. We did it. We did it. Wow. That went by faster than I thought it was going to. Holy moly. One sec. Those were all very good. Let's see. I'm looking. This is very, very good. Let me switch screens. Sorry, I wanted to look at things better. It was very good. All of the stories were wonderful. Thank you to everyone who contributed. I know it's a lot, like putting yourself out there for your stories, so I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough. Reveal my notes on the stories. I kind of gave like my basic overall notes. It's kind of hard to give notes for every single one because there are a lot, and I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable if like I made a note about their story. in front of everyone. Like, I don't want anyone to feel uncomfy. I want to add to the story, but I don't know how. I mean, you can always write your stories. We have a special stories channel. If you want to say, hey, this was my story and this is what I wanted to add on to it, you can absolutely do that. It's just kind of outside the competition. It was actually hard to limit to 500 words. I have a good 200 to 300 more. Yeah, see, that's the part. I think one of the first competitions we did, I think I allowed 1,000. It was a lot of words. And imagine we had about 20-ish entries, and I was gonna read about like 20,000 words in the stream. It's completely doable, as you can see. Like, we got everything done in about like an hour and 45 minutes. Almost like 2 hours. But like, it would be a lot to go through because I never know how many people are going to contribute. It's been pretty consistent though. I was half expecting we'd see some more. But we had about 20 responses the previous competition we did, so I was surprised that we didn't have a couple more. 750 words for the next one? We will see. It's still a lot, because imagine if 50 people submitted their stories. I mean, I was tripping over words at the end because that's a lot of, like, reading things out loud. Funny. 40k word limit? Yeah, no. There is a strength in being able to write with only, like, a few, like, words provided. Yeah, see, imagine if 100 people submitted. That's, like, that would be a lot of reading. I can do it. It'd be very good practice. Maybe have a co-host switch off? Perhaps. It was suggested the other time, but, like, part of it is I don't know how many people will participate, and I know a lot of people, especially if I have it as, like, stories about me or something with the Auxilia, I don't want anyone to feel shafted because they wanted me to read the story and instead it was someone else. Like, I don't know about you, but if I wrote a story about someone that I thought was, like, I'm like, oh wow, I really like this, and I wrote this specifically about them, and then they didn't read it, and it was someone else, I would feel a little miffed. I won't lie. It was fun, but I'm glad I was able to incorporate a homebrew into the lore. They will follow the whispers and rumors of the 2nd and the 11th. Ooh, fancy. I hope you enjoyed. The 500 words was difficult, but was a nice challenge. I think it ended up a little too abstract, but I hope it went well. I really liked all the stories. So I had an idea for, like, a Tempris Auxilia story. I had the idea, like, Friday night as I was falling asleep. And I thought about writing it yesterday. So I would like to write it down. To see if I can fit within that 500 word limit, because I thought it was an interesting concept. I won't say anything more on it. If I have the time, I will write it down. I have the concept in my mind laid out, but it's very different. Yeah. I like the word limits. We had 500 for the sword contest, 400 for the Blood Angels, and now 500 again. Oh, okay, so it has been under 500. Okay. Cool. I was like, was there 1,000 at one point? I think I debated it, but it's a lot of words to read. Yeah, I think I'll probably try to keep it consistent at 500, because then it's a little bit easier to, like, just get through. But yeah, okay. Let me look at my notes. There was a bunch that I liked. I liked so many. And it's so hard to choose, so I don't want anyone to, like, feel bad if I didn't pick yours, because I really do appreciate you going out on a limb and doing this. I liked so many of them. I think I know which one is my favorite. Let me look at my notes. Oh yes, and if you submitted a story, please message one of the mods with, like, a title for your story, so when I put the timestamps in after the stream, I can reference your story directly if you wanted to go back to it and read it. And if you're watching the VOD, just send it to one of the mods and I will add it later. Okay, let me think. I think, oh man, I think, yeah, I think, oh man, it's so hard. I think I know which one is my favorite though. Okay. And next time I will add a category for your title so it's like separate. Okay. All right. I have selected my favorite. So the one that I enjoyed the most, I wasn't expecting a story like this, so it kind of caught me off guard, but I really did enjoy it. And it was about Centuria Castinus Tanar, the chef for the Tempris Auxilia, or at least part of the Tempris Auxilia. I believe Kero wrote that one. That one was my favorite. I was not expecting that of all the stories, but I thought it was really good, and I liked the little bits of lore behind it. So congratulations. We will talk later. Yeah, now you have to feed me. I thought it was really good, and perhaps it was because I happened to be hungry. I don't know. Did he have to step out? I haven't seen his name pop up in a second. But congratulations. I will reach out to you, and Chroma and I will talk to you about what kind of poster we want to make based off story. He couldn't make it. Oh my gosh, what are the odds? Holy cow. I was like, I didn't see the name. Runner-ups. Oh gosh, I have a hard time picking one as it is, like trying to make me choose runner-ups. Gosh, I have ones I like. I gave them my own names. I know he'll hear about it. I'm just like, oh man, what are the odds of that? I liked, it sounds really messed up. One of the ones that I really liked was that one Auxilia guy. My note was the Dravir dude, who's basically like, the Auxilia are gonna be the heroes of the story. I liked that one. I was like, that's very Warhammer and very messed up, but I like it. Like, it was really good. I liked that one a lot. I liked the funerals. I liked both funeral speeches. The one where they were singing, and then the one at the beginning with the wax candles. That was also good. And the blue-eyed baby one was unnerving. I want to know what happens. Who wrote that one? I don't know who wrote that one. I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Oh, I think it's this one. I really like the one with the blue-eyed baby. That one I want to know more. So so yeah, I had several that I liked. Those are my other ones that I thought were really good contenders. Vitalis, it was great. I want to know more. I would like to know more. A lot of these, and it's the downside with having a 500-word prompt. It's I mean, it's just so hard, but I want to know more details. So yeah. So yeah, what we can do here is that we can just hang out and chill for a little bit, since like the story time is pretty much over. And yeah, more lore. Yeah, we're gonna have more lore. So now that is going to be an official part of the lore now. Very nice. I liked it. Yeah, chill vibes. We're just chilling. More Dawn of War? Not today, no. No. You push too far. Yes, Soko, go to bed. You don't ever have to stay up for stream. Go to bed. Go to bed. There's no more stories. We're done. It's currently, yeah, you'll go to bed. That's late. Since when was Taro the boss of you? Is Taro's name Boss? No, I'm Boss. I'm in charge here. I'm in charge. I'm writing a short snippet for the Radiant Suns. Ooh, yes, I can't wait for more stories. I'm very excited. When would the next story... Whoa, what happened? Aw, 1 second, guys. My screen is broken? Excuse me? What happened here? That was odd. My phone just, like, thought I was at a weird angle, like, didn't see my face for 2 seconds. That was weird. I've never seen it do that. I've been hit with the shrink ray. Yep. Go to bed. Oh, sorry. Get the yawn there. I need to have a sip of this Code Red. There we go. Honey, I Shrunk the High Lord, yeah. Yeah, that one, I don't know why, that was so weird. I've never had the phone do that. I ate a blue mushroom. Yeah, Code Red. Yep, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the kind words about my story. It makes me want to pick up the story again without a word limit. Do it. Do it. Honestly, I really like, there wasn't like a story in there that I was like, oh, this is horrible. I hate this. Like most of them, and I wish I could speak more thoroughly about each one. But like totally. Like if you feel like compelled to like continue the story, like please keep writing. We have a channel to like talk about these stories where you can submit your own stories. Like everyone's really kind. So yeah, if you want to keep writing, I encourage that. I absolutely encourage it. I'm gonna post my story and the one I didn't submit to the stories channel. Yeah. If there are stories that you didn't get to include, or like you wanted to, things that like didn't quite make it to the competition, then like absolutely do that. Yeah, now I should probably sit down and write my story. That's what I should do, because I'd love to be able to like explain it to you guys, but I don't think I can articulate it well enough. Without, like, currently. I can't articulate it well enough verbally. Perhaps in text. It's been a while since I've written anything, so I can't promise it'll be anything good. Story time later. I'll write it, and we'll see when I have the time to actually, like, narrate it. We'll see. I might limit myself to the 500 words to show you that I can do it too. But, yeah. But, yeah. Yeah. This has been very chill. I like doing it. I actually, funny enough, I want to do more voices. I want to do more voices, but funny enough, the voices I am best at are, like, the Fulgrim-esque voices, where they're, like, the sickly sweet, and they're, like... Well, obviously, I'm better at feminine voices, but where it's like lazy, rolling, and perhaps a touch sensual. I don't see myself as a very sensual person to begin with. I'm not that much of a voice actor. No, those are the voices I just found. I enjoy doing those voices. No, don't apologize that yours is mostly dialogue. Like, I have stories there, and like a lot of books are dialogue, so it's like trying to like going back and forth to do all the fun voices. I wasn't prepared, and I should have practiced more voices. Yeah, I just want to practice more. It's if I wasn't reading them like cold, I would have taken more time to like have like set voices for each, but reading it cold like makes it a nice surprise for me, and so you can get kind of my reactions off the bat, but you lose some of like actual like quality narration. The only voices I know are my voice in high pitch and my voice in low pitch. Yeah, that's kind of what mine are. Sometimes I just like vary based on like the pacing. Yeah, so sometimes I just do a little bit of a pacing difference. Talking about short story, there is something called Europa Ice Wars. There's 150 words of veterans in fictitious war. I'll have to look into that. I know the voices in my head. Do those count? No, those don't count. Unless you can mimic them properly, those don't count. I'm sorry to disappoint. Aurelia learning a British accent with Froggy. Well, from Froggy? She's got an odd accent. According to her, I don't know that for sure. She says it's a big mix of different things. I imagine the two Emperor's Children in my story had pompous, frustrated British accents. Yeah, they probably did. I was just more like, I should have done that. But my British accent's not very consistent. But yeah, it would be a nice skill to learn, but I'm currently trying to learn other skills. So it's kind of hard to learn a bunch of things all at once and improve on a bunch of fronts. Maybe one day, maybe one day. Yeah, there's the yawn. It cannot be helped. It is a Sunday. It is a Sunday, and I am the eepiest of the Emperor's custodians. No naps can save me. Yeah, Sundays are supposed to be a day of rest, but that doesn't happen. Yesterday was like my day of rest. Oh, I have a story. I have a story. You guys want to hear my story? It happened yesterday. I felt very cool. Okay, here's the story. I was at a party for a friend. I know, I on occasion I party. And we were hanging out, just kind of waiting for more people to show up. And it was really annoying. There were these big, fat flies that were just flying around. They were just flying around the house, and it was like, oh, it was so frustrating. And my friend, she had a fly swatter. She was like, Aurelia, like, man, these flies are so annoying. And I was like, I got you, don't worry. So I took the fly swatter, which I will 100% tell you is not my weapon of choice. So I was going around there looking for the flies. I got two of them. One like couldn't fly. It was really weird. Anyways, the other one I was able to pin with the fly swatter, and I was able to like kill it. So I was trying to find the third one because there was three. They were so incredibly annoying. So I was about to pin this third one against the window like I had with the second one, but I made a mistake. And he flew from the window, and the last like minute I swung my hand around and I grabbed it with my bare hand. And this one was actually one of the faster ones. He was very annoying, and I was so excited because I caught him. I will have you know, I have done extensive training at my parents' house. So I am accustomed to like catching flies with my hand. Like my dad kind of taught me how to do it, because once you catch the fly in your like hand and your fist, you like ball up your fist and then you like shake up the fly in your hand and then like you throw it at the ground and then you crush it with your foot if it doesn't die immediately. It was awesome because everyone was so like, when I say everyone, I mean everyone at this party was annoyed by the flies. And when I turned around and I had my fist up, they're like, you didn't catch that with your hand. And I said, I did. I caught it with my bare hand. And yeah, they were pretty impressed. They were very impressed. And anytime there was a fly at the rest of the party, they would get my attention and be like, hey, Aurelia, can you try to get that like fly? And I said, I'll do my best. They got harder later because there was more people and I didn't want to like run my hand around the room and like accidentally smack someone in the face. Yeah, I can't catch flies with chopsticks like in Karate Kid, but it was very a cool moment for me. Very cool moment for me. I was like, yes, I felt so powerful. Makes sense. Spider Dad taught you to catch flies. Okay, that I didn't think about that. He's better at catching flies than me. He's faster. He's a boy, so he has better reflexes. He's faster. The coolest boss. My boss is so cool. She catches flies with her bare hands. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it did come full circle. That wasn't intended, but that happened. Cat Aurelia taking in the flies. Aw, man. Man. Will you post all the stories in the story channel on Discord? If someone wants to post their story in the story channel, they may. I do not want to post a story without someone's permission. So if they would like to, they may. I just don't want them to be like, oh, I really didn't like how it turned out. I don't want people to know it was me. They don't gotta post it. Cheers for the flycatcher. Thanks, Rose. Thank you, Rose. I was laughing when that happened because I was like, you know what? I gotta make my presence at like the party like it's gotta pay off. Like they're feeding me, they're giving me drinks and food, so you know, I'll do them a service. Can you post the fly story there? I'm not gonna write that story out. It doesn't need to be turned into a drama. Wait, where is the story channel? You might have to open up in the Discord your server permissions. Here. In the live stream chat, I will... Dang it. There. In the live stream chat, I have tagged the channel. So if you want to access it, you may. I bet Sanguinius taught Aurelia everything she knows about catching flies. No, that was definitely my dad. My dad taught me that. My dad taught me how to do that. And don't worry about spelling stuff. Don't worry. Warhammer words are hard. I learned actually the other day that Istvan, you can spell Istvan 2 different ways, with 2 S's or with 2 A's. I didn't know that. Like, I was spelling it out for something completely different, and then I was like, Istvan. And I was like, wait, but I've seen another version where it's spelled differently, and I found out there's 2 ways. So don't worry, the Warhammer words are also weird. Aurelia's dad is a martial artist. He is pretty cool. Not a martial artist. I will say okay. Oh, I don't know. I told you guys, I have a new leg routine from Spider Dad. So for those of you that don't know, Spider Dad is my dad. It's a complicated, it's not very complicated story, but that's what we call my dad. That's what chat just has called the dad. And I was talking about a leg routine that he's done, which is a very, very good leg routine. So I was talking to my dad like a few weeks ago, and I said, hey, what do you do specifically for this routine? And he said, oh, I've updated my routine. I'm like, oh, what is it? And it's like, it's harder. He's like gotten it down to 3 different exercises. And it's brutal. It's quite brutal. Yeah, real quick, the spider dad story is he saw a big spider in the garage and he's like, I have to kill it. I don't want like my wife to freak out when she sees a big spider. He goes to hit it with the dustpan. Right before he hits it, he's like, huh, that looks really weird. He hits the spider and it has a bunch of babies on its back and it explodes. So he basically goes gets the insect killer and sprays it in the whole area because now there's baby spiders everywhere. And so then chat called him Spider Dad. So yeah, that's the story. But so he does a new routine. Do you want to guys hear the routine? It is Bulgarians. So it's the same setup as before. You do 3 sets. Decrease reps, increase weights. So you still do Bulgarian split squats. So you do 30, then 20, then 10. That's the same for each one. So 30 reps each leg, by the way. Each leg gets 30, so 60 total. And then there's a second exercise, which takes a bit to explain. And then the third exercise is lunges. The second exercise is what he calls Thor squats. You ready? So you have a dumbbell in one hand. So you have a dumbbell in your right hand. You do a squat, and your dumbbell basically goes to the floor. You touch the dumbbell to the floor or close to it as far as like you squat down. And then you basically, I don't know if you snatch it, if that's like the proper term. You pull the dumbbell up. When you come out of the squat, you go on like the tips of your toes, and then you press the dumbbell into the air. That's one. And you do 30 of those. 30 each arm. So you do 30 with your right arm and then 30 with your left arm. Nah, I'm too tall to do that. It looks like you need to go outside and do these exercises then. So it's quite brutal because he basically got it pushed down to 3 exercises instead of like 5. And it's a lot all at once. But I highly recommend it. True, it is a lot easier. However, you will feel better about yourself just because of all like the chemicals that go through your body when you work out, even though it sucks. Because trust me, man, there are times when I work out and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this. This feels terrible. It feels awful. But most of the time, like I don't regret it at the end. I'm like glad that I did it because I feel better, and it makes me feel better about eating whatever I feel like for the most part. I feel better about that as a result. It's a lot easier, but if you put in the hard work in the long run, you will be, I think, happier with yourself. But that's just my personal take on it, because I know there are times I definitely didn't want to work out and I didn't want to do it, but I am happy with where I'm at. Spider Dad pokes spider. It's not so bad. The spider dissolves. Yeah, it was a mess. I wasn't there for that. That's hard. You get both your legs and you raise your arms above your neck, so essentially hard. Yeah, it's technically 3 exercises because you're doing a squat, you're doing a press, and then at the same time you're doing a calf raise at the top of the squat. It's bad. Like, it's terrible. So 3 exercises in one. And when you're doing 30 at a time, it's pretty much cardio. Okay, I just tried it with a 2.5 pound dumbbell. Yes. Now do 30 of those, one arm. Do 30 of those one arm. And then do 30 more on the other arm. Yeah, it sucks. My cardio beats chaos. Yeah. Nope. Fair enough. Always be careful when you're working out. Don't, like, if you're not sure if a workout, like if your body is going to be good with the workout, do it without weights. Even if you did the exercises without weights, like, it still burns. It still burns. So don't injure yourself, please. Take the necessary precautions. My current... So you do 30 reps, then 20 reps, then 10 reps. I currently start with, for the Thor squats, I do 10 pounds, then 15, then 20, and it sucks the whole time. It sucks the whole time, so it's not very fun, but I feel better afterwards. Yep, yeah, I was faster than your comment. It's, I was thinking about it, and I told him, I was like, you didn't tell me about this sooner? Really selling it? Look, 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 look. Workouts, to an extent, I think working out when it's fun is great. But when workouts suck, that's when you know it's like getting the good work in. It does feel nice, not gonna lie. See, it feels good afterwards. It feels good once you like do it and you're like, oh, well, I can do that. I'm capable of that. The suck equals progression. Correct, correct. So if you guys like, I will put it in, we have a workout channel. It doesn't get a ton of use. What is a Thor squat? Bard, I just explained it. Okay. You have a weight in your hand. You do a squat. You put the weight, basically you touch it to the ground or just above the ground. And when you go up from the squat, you take the dumbbell. You don't really snatch it, but you basically press it above your head. And at the same time, at the top of the squat, you do a calf raise. That's one. So then you do 30 for each arm. So 60 squats total for the first set. Lifting many small things build up muscles for lifting one big thing. Yeah. Yeah, my dad called it a Thor squat because it reminds him of like Thor's hammer. So that's how he explained it to me. But I also think he said that because he knows Thor is my favorite like Marvel superhero. Sounds like sumo squats at worst. Sumo squats, though, are when your legs are farther than shoulder width apart. Sumo squats, you just do the squat for the most part. You don't really do any presses with dumbbells. You can do sumo squats with a dumbbell, but it usually stays below, like, your center of gravity. Yeah, and you can always don't ever feel bad about like the weights that you're using. Take your time. The thing is, you don't want to injure yourself. I might have to stop my leg routine for like maybe a week because when I was doing the exercises yesterday, like when I first started, I was feeling some like tension around like the muscles by my tailbone, and I was kind of like, oh, well, that's not great. And I thought, you know, Aurelia, you just don't want to do leg day. You just want to stop early. And I was like, no, we got to do leg day. But it kind of hurt after that. So I don't think I stretched enough. So I might need to take a break from that particular leg day routine for perhaps a few days or a week. But yeah. They were helping me do those sumo squats when I was in PT to help build core. Yeah, those do help. It also, depending on the sumo squats, you can do another type of, it's I don't know what it's called, but it gets your inner thigh. You get in like a sumo squat position, but instead of like squatting, you do calf raises from that position. And those also suck. Those also suck. But they are good. Working out is good for your body, as long as you're not going crazy and like hurting yourself. Sports massages helps when you make mistakes that make you regret things for days. That is true. I don't, since I work out at home, I don't really have access to people that could give nice sports massages. That would be nice, because after the spider leg days, I'm definitely suffering. Yeah, there's so many squats. The squats are good. The Votan, nice. I like the little reference in there. I work out to achieve Sanguinius's physique. Yeah, good luck with that. It's a very nice physique, but that's a good goal to have. That I'm trying not to have too high of an expectation for myself. I played sports for a while, and I always wanted a six-pack. And even when I was playing sports, like, I could never achieve the six-pack. So I am content with the fact that I will probably never have a six-pack, and I'm okay with that, because that would probably require me to eat air. And I like breadsticks. So breadsticks over a six-pack, yes, any day. I will take those any day. Do leg and arm days really help? Would it be better to make half of each instead of only one day per one type of muscle? So the reason I believe, I am no like expert in like exercising, but it's usually like when you emphasize like one particular set of body parts and you put more like tension and you're working them out more, you can, it sounds weird, but when you're working out, you're basically tearing that muscle. So when it grows, like when it heals itself, it comes back stronger. So when you put emphasis on those like same muscles, you really get to work them so then they can be stronger instead of just like splitting it up. Think of it as like jack of all trades. Like when you split it up, like every day is like, oh, you did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You're not really hitting something really hard. You want to hit something hard so you can see more growth. But that's my personal take. I am not a like, I'm not a physical therapist or anyone that does anything like that, so don't take my word for it. Yes, and that too. Thank you, Mostly Zen. It also allows for more time for each section of muscles to heal between the workouts. Yes. And if you overdo it, you stiffen the muscles too much. Correct. Yes. Mostly Zen, that was a great first chat. Very, very good point. Thank you for covering the spots that I was 100% going to miss. Do I wear workout clothes? Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't wear regular clothes, nah. I have workout clothes that I wear. I definitely don't work out in just my armor. You know, sometimes you gotta work out in the armor, but you know, I don't always wear the armor to work out in. Every day is leg day. You are correct. Don't skip your leg day. Everyone wants to skip leg day because it hurts and they want big boy arms. But you look like a triangle if you have just big boy arms. You gotta get those big boy legs. Gotta get the thunder thighs, okay? You'll be well-rounded. Leg day is Saturday, Wednesday. Hey, that's when I try to schedule my leg days too. I have more time on Saturdays, and then Wednesday is like in the middle of the week. But you want to be a triangle, but look. You want to be well-rounded. Triangles, they're nice, but like everyone makes fun of like little tiny skinny like legs when someone's got like a huge upper body. Instead of leg day, just jump on one leg and never walk. Switch legs every day. That is one way to do it. I think your coworkers and family members might look at you funny, but it is one way to do it. It is doable. Oh, stretch. We don't want to dirty the Ormite with the sweat. It's not easy to clean. Well, I mean, other people clean the armor for me. I don't have to do it all the time. So we need to be a pyramid? No, not necessarily. I advocate for being well-rounded in terms of like what you work out. But I know people are less inclined to do leg day. Myself included, because leg day is usually just, it sucks, and then the few days afterwards it's hard to walk. If we have the proper scheme, yeah, I mean, Ugh. Getting tired all over again. But yeah, I'll post the Spider Dad, the new Spider Dad leg routine. I used to squat 535 pounds. Wow. Oh no, my body does not recover from the muscle test, however, so I ended up tearing down the muscle with my stubbornness to push harder. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Man, that really sucks. Are you still able to work out like a little bit? Are you still able to squat some? So maybe not like 500, but are you still able to do something like 100, 200, or is it completely shot? This is one of the reasons why you should be very careful when you're working out. Don't push yourself. I didn't sabotage anyone. I didn't oh. I am so sorry. I'm very sorry. Yes, the answer is don't ever, like, moderation. Don't lift too much. Don't go too crazy. Be reasonable with your workout. Don't push yourself. Have your rest days. It was a neurological thing, but my thoughts at the time is I was just lazy. Aw, man, I'm real sorry. That really blows. The ideal body shape is to be like the wall, like Dorn. Yeah. Just he's definitely just a brick wall. He's just a brick wall. But yeah, be conscious of your workouts. Don't go too nuts. My ideal body type is to be like the Baneblade. What, you want a long barrel? You want a turret? You want to be covered in guns? Flamers? Bolters? 11 barrels of bang. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. What kind of Baneblade? The suspiciously Baneblade man at the gym. Check my list of things. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, guys, I have a channel that I go through where if I think there's like a funny story to tell, I write it down. So I was at a fast food place. I don't remember when this was. This was like a couple weeks ago. I was at a fast food place and I was walking in like with some friends of mine, and as we walked in, we could see that there were some like police officers like sitting at this fast food place. It was a pretty packed place at the time, and as we were walking in, one of the officers walks up to like go get his food from the counter. And so normally it's like, oh, whatever, we let him in front of us so he could like go get his food. And I noticed, because I was like right behind him, I noticed that he had his service weapon on him. And normally the service weapons have like a clip over like the top, so like it stays on his like holster. Like there's a clip over that. But his actually wasn't clipped on, it was like open. And so I had this like incredibly intrusive thought, kind of a meme. My brain, which I don't condone this, don't do this. This is the dumbest thing you will ever do. Don't do this. My brain was like, I thought of the meme reaching for the officer's service weapon, because they're always like, I know, I didn't do anything, but I looked at that because I was like, I've never seen a service weapon that would be like so easy to grab. I was like, holy cow, buddy, you gotta strap that down. Like, what the heck? Like, you're in a busy place and anyone could just grab that. Like, I didn't do it. But I said it to my friends later when we were far enough away from them. And they were like, yeah, I noticed that. And I was like, yeah, I was definitely thinking about the meme. Do you want to save your game? Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, don't do that, sir. That's a bad idea. I'll embrace my destiny in a dreadnought, yeah. Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't actually do that. That is how you get in huge trouble and or possibly die. Don't do that. Please. I'm begging you. That's a quote. Whoa, buddy, you gotta strap that down. I know there aren't quick saves IRL. That's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't do it. I was like, holy moly, bud. I say bud to like a police officer that's probably like 10 years older than me. Any case. Yeah. So, don't do that. Don't get intrusive thoughts like me. But it was funny. Are you saying if there were quick saves you would? No, I probably wouldn't. Look, come on. I'm the kind of girl that when I play an RPG game, I can't, like, say the rude statement. Like, it pains me. It pains me too much, so, no. I would not. I would not do that. A custodian's afraid of a stubborn. Just silly. I've got a 2+ armor save. Yeah, 100%. I think it totally. Him and his like 6 other dudes that were hanging out at the place totally wouldn't have taken me out. Totally. Definitely would have been just fine. Definitely wouldn't have gotten in trouble or hurt. Yeah, I definitely only play as the good girl during those story videos. They're only guardsmen, you can shrug it off. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yep. I'm not turning to chaos, it was just the thought I had. The local custodians arrested at a Wendy's. Look, I'm a good girl. I wouldn't do things like that. I wouldn't do things like that. But I figured you guys would appreciate the story because the memes are starting to like get into my brain. It's starting to like go into the brain and I'm like, but like, what if I did? I think that's called brain rot. Memes aren't the same as like not all memes are brain rot. Like there's some of like the classic memes where it's like those aren't brain rot. That's not the same, I don't think. That one is, I agree. That one is more brain rot. But thought I put my phone and earbuds away before falling asleep. Well, that story is now deep in my brain. Congratulations. Good luck. I did also, funny enough, I did have a dream recently where it was right when I was reading the Night Lords trilogy. I actually had a dream where some of the characters like were there in my dream, and let me tell you, it was a bit horrifying because there was some implications about things that they did to other people in the dream. It was very disturbing. Did they yell at me? No, they looked very threatening though. It was an odd dream. Trying to explain it would be a lot. Who dreams of that? Man, I don't know. I've been having more like Warhammer dreams lately. No, Conrad was not there. It was Talos and Syrian from the Night Lords trilogy. It's like, I don't know how to explain. I just occasionally get these dreams. I also have dreams about playing Dawn of War. Those aren't dreams actually, those are just nightmares. Those are nightmares. Like, I think it was the other night after I played Dawn of War, I was falling asleep and I was trying not to think about Dawn of War because it kept like infecting my brain because I was thinking about strategy. Yeah, no, it didn't stop. It just kept going. I don't get it. I used to not have Warhammer dreams, but now that like I do so much Warhammer stuff, it just happens more frequently. Yes, brother, I am pinned here. That's what it feels like, man. Because I can't think of anything else. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we just charge. Charge the enemy. Yeah, but it wasn't like a good dream about Night Lords, let me be honest. It wasn't like... It was more neutral, but there was some like subtext beneath that where I was like, this is not good. This is bad. This is real bad. Is there any good dream about Night Lords? Yeah, where they leave you alone, probably. Hello, hello. I am doing very well. My day is going very well. I hope your day is going well, Pillar. I hope you're having a good time. At least I'm safe inside my dreams. Yeah. I know I'm not. Dawn of War will continue to follow me. I can't get away. I'm glad you're doing well. I like my hat. Well, it's not that I'm... The Dawn of War dreams are like is like me actively playing the game. It's really odd. It's really odd. It's... Has Dawn of War dreams till dawn? No, thankfully not. Thankfully I wake up in the middle of the night and it stops the dream. And then I stop dreaming about it and it's wonderful. But usually it's like 3 to 4 hours of dreaming about Dawn of War, which is a nightmare. Because legit, I will get stressed in the dream. I wish I was kidding. I get stressed when I play Dawn of War in my dreams. And now you guys wonder why I don't want to play it sometimes, because I play it in my sleep and it stresses me out. It's... yeah. I'm dead serious. I get stressed out in those dreams. It's not very fun. Yeah, look what it's doing to me. I don't sleep nearly as well. Especially after I play Dawn of War, I definitely... It's also to put off the dreams I get, because I'm less likely to have Dawn of War dreams if I haven't played the game. Now I'm stressed out? No, don't be stressed out. Yeah. Oh, you're not stressed. Okay, good. I was like, don't be stressed out because I'm having weird dreams. Don't worry about that. Are you winning in the dreams? It's hard to say. Kind of. It's hard to tell because the maps aren't like Dawn of War, like the classic Dawn of War maps. Are you winning, Aurelia? As I toss and turn in my bed, I'm like, no. Just need one line to win in Dawn of War. Yes, I know. We're so close. We are so close in Winter Assault to finishing. I am going to probably practice 1 or 2 times because I have some strategies I want to test. Anyway, how do you reduce that stress? Like some good soup or a nice shower bath? No, man, it doesn't stop. Doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I do. Even if I take a very nice shower or I relax, even when I de-stress after the game, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I can't stop it, man. And odds are I may have talked about it too much so that I might dream about it tonight. Yeah. Man, I don't know why. That's just how it is. Yes, I win when I'm supported by the Auxilia. Yes, 100%. But it's okay, I will conquer the simulations. Yeah, it's a knee-jerk reaction now. I must defeat my nightmare demons. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I have more cold red. Oh, I want ice for this. I'll get ice later. Yeah, just a little PTSD from a video game as a treat, yeah. It was funny because there was a time period where I was actually getting good, like, consistent sleep. I was like not having dreams and I was having good solid sleep. And then like within the past like couple weeks or so, and not just, I don't think it's just because I was thinking about Dawn of War, but like my sleep has deteriorated again. I still get solid sleep, but I definitely wake up in the middle of the night when I don't want to. It's fine. That's why I yawn so much. Apparently women are supposed to get like 10 hours of sleep to like an average man's like 8. I didn't know that. So I don't get 10 hours, I get like 8. I think I'd be tired regardless, but no, at least we're getting 8 hours. Skill issue? Maybe. 8 hours, who can sleep 8 hours? I slept about 8 hours last night. Yeah, about 8 hours. What? No, what? The Blood Angel necklace, it's not a $420. What? No. No, it's like not that much. There's no way. I would never ask for something that much. No, that's a completely different one. No. No, that's something different. No, I got it off Amazon. It's like from Amazon. It's not that much, I promise. That one probably has gold in it. Dude, holy cow, no, I would never ask for something that's that expensive. It was like 20, I thought. No, it wasn't 20. There you go. Red-tailed wolf, yeah, I think red-tailed wolf got it for me. So yeah, it was not $420. Yeah, that other one I think has like, yeah, custom gem, custom gold. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, on eBay it looks like you could get it for like 20 bucks. Holy cow. I was like, there's no way. I don't ask for things that are like, the only things that are like that important or like expensive. No, I don't need one for $400. Be quiet. Be quiet, I don't need one that's that expensive, no. The one I have is perfect and great. No, the only things I think that were that expensive were related to equipment. Well, there you go. Kix wants one for $400, Red-Tail Wolf, so it looks like we have a taker. Deserve? Oh gosh, no. No, that's not, no. I like to be reasonable with money. Let's be reasonable, rational, chill people here. There's a blood drop garnet I found for just under $200. It just needs a setting. Guys, stop it. Stop. You guys are bad influences. Bad influences. Because the first thing I thought of when you said that was the fancy the fancy engagement ring that I picked out when I was doing the sanguineous Aurelia wedding. It's real pretty. And it's got like a red teardrop in it. Yes, being here is enough support. Thank you, Ultra Fist. Thank you very much. Thank you for clarifying. I'm sure all the caffeine in the code red is not causing the problem in your sleep quality. It's actually not. I've actually limited the amount of like code red I have, or like caffeine in general. I try not to have like caffeine past like 3 o'clock. Today is an exception. And then on top of that, I only have like 1 can of like caffeine a day. I've been really trying to be good about it because I used to get caffeine headaches. Those were not very fun. And I was a grumpus as a result. So I actually, it's an improvement. Yes, please take care of yourselves first. Please, yeah, just take care of yourselves. You worry about yourself. Red Tail Wolf, you are all good, man. I know you're just trying to be kind and supportive. I just don't want to put too many things on it that are like frivolous, because I feel bad about that. I feel bad. So I try to minimize the frivolity. But yeah, don't worry. I'm watching my caffeine, so I'm like not, because I thought that was going to be a problem for a while, and it was. I fixed it. I fixed that problem by not having as much caffeine, but I still don't get good sleep even if I don't have a lot of caffeine. It's incredible. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I still do. I still do. Mouse. There it is. Going through my list of my stories. I think those were my main ones that I wanted to talk about because they're funny and just absolutely downright goofy. No, I was gonna wait to put ice in that. Never mind. Oh, sorry, that was my chair. I like leaned back and it made a popping noise. Sorry. Didn't mean to do any of that. I like the be reasonable with money becomes a 40k fan. Yeah, that's I don't, so you see if I bought things for myself, like if I bought minis, technically I can write them off on like my taxes. I can write it off on my taxes, so I actually am being somewhat responsible. And I haven't bought any more minis. I need to paint all of my other minis before I like buy more. So I actually am being responsible because I write it off on my taxes. I don't need more minis. I gotta finish these, all my custodians first. There's so many custodians. Yeah, it is kind of hard to control like your sleep schedule. Can we see the Baneblade? Eventually. I think I'm just gonna not make it the Octoblade. I'll develop the Octoblade part eventually, but I think I'll just make it a regular Baneblade. Bop 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 bop. Sorry. My brain has run out of things to say. That is the perfect emote for that. Raid time? Maybe. Let's see. Maybe. We'll see. We can talk about more stuff. My brain is like, I have run out of stories and I'm like trying to rack it to see if there's like any others that are like, oh, anything else we could talk about? Hello. Welcome in, Alfarius. Good to see you. Hi, YouTube. Drink water. Yeah, I've been drinking water. but it's just... We don't want to give you any more Dawn of War PTSD, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube will occasionally do that. It just happens, but it's, because it'll show all the other chats and it's like, we gotta catch up, we gotta go real fast. Gotta go fast. And, I don't know. Let's see. You know what? Let's see. You know who we will raid into today? We will raid into Wasted Space. We collabed with him and a bunch of other Warhammer VTubers last week. So we're gonna go do that. I'm in Spain without the A. You gonna spin? Yeah. But guys, before you go, we have some fun stuff happening. On Saturday, guess what? We're having more Girl Failures play more Warhammer Tabletop. Froggy and I are going to be playing with some new units. It's gonna be great. I'm playing Blood Angels and she's gonna play... I actually don't know what she's gonna play. She might play Mechanicus. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna play Blood Angels. And then there are some Warhammer previews. Those are gonna be interesting. I have to see if my schedule will allow for me to stream those, because those are gonna be mornings for me. We'll see. And then on Tuesday, it's gonna be a later stream, but we're gonna have a collab. The schedule will go out into the Discord server, so you should join if you want updates on that. But in the meantime, make sure you do your leg day. Be very smart with your workouts. Please don't hurt yourselves. Yes, Tuesday with the CH. But please don't hurt yourself. Please follow all of the streamers' rules. Tell a Wasted Space, at least on Twitch, because I don't think he has a YouTube that he's going on. Tell him we said hi, and I will catch you all on Tuesday for a fun collab. Alright guys, I will see you all later. Bye!